Friends, welcome to the LCX crew. Here's a few quick guidelines to keep the good vibes going. Let's get into it. Spoilers/backseating open book prohibited. I don't care about spoilers. You want to guide me? Go ahead, but stop if I say I don't want your help. Otherwise, you're just ruining my flow. Jokes/heckling face with tears of joy. I'm all for fun and banter, but you gotta read the room. If I'm not vibing with it, I'll give one warning, then you're out. Simple. Music/game requests musical note video game. One request at a time per person. I appreciate multiple requests, but spread them out. No spamming, fam. Why is everyone a mod? Ranch eyes. So you can follow other members and be part of the community. You don't have to actually moderate anyone, just be cool. If you see a troll, though, feel free to take action. My actual admins have the power for the real drama. Debate/discussion speaking head. I love a good debate, but keep the insults and passive-aggressive remarks to yourself. No one's here to get attacked. You're always welcome to disagree, just do it respectfully. Snowflakes need not apply snowflake. If you're going to start an essay about how uncomfortable you are with official dev art or get upset over harmless jokes, take a step back. No one's here to cater to your personal sense of wrong when it's clearly just harmless fun. Keep it chill and don't be that guy. These are my vibes, and if you want to be a part of them, awesome. Just don't bring negativity or try to start unnecessary drama. Keep it respectful, keep it fun, and let's all enjoy the ride. Glowing star.
Alright, here we go. I'm working on a commission today. Hello, Nagato, and hello, Eris. Hello. It is I, Elle-C, and welcome to the stream. I'll be drawing today, as you can see. Let me turn on some background music. Also, I guess it's time to call in Dakota Miller. Alright, let's begin. Hello, Gerardo. So there's already some art in here, by the way. Here. Here's a piece I did on stream. A little bit earlier this year. Ain't it cute? For those who are curious, this is the watercolor paper I use. It's Canson 200 GSM. This is an A5, so it's small. It's A5. Usually I use an A4, but for the purpose of this particular commission, I think this one suits the commission better. It's a very thick type of paper, meant specifically for watercolors. So let us begin. So Dakota Miller asked me to redraw some of his characters, which he drew a long time ago. And he is here. So let's call in Dakota. I know it's from Final Fantasy, I don't know which one. Na 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 na. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh no, it's not Final Fantasy. It's Xenogears. No wonder. Xenogears. It's Yasunori Mitsuda. Anyways, let's call in Dakota Miller. Hello! Welcome. Okay, I shall begin right away.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Call me. Okay. Right, and, check here. Actually, yeah, that'll probably be for the better. Just a sec, I'm gonna... Just in case because I don't read the chat, so I'm going to fix that by... I'm gonna fix
I
that
don't
by,
read the chat either because I'm drawing.
Okay.
If you guys want to call my attention, you'll have to use a redeem.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, you
Start
want
with a pink-haired girl.
talk about, yeah, I was about to say, so this is where we talk, I'm guessing we talk about, like, building up the characters, or do you just look at them and you figure it out yourself?
I just look at them and draw whatever's, you know, like so.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can look at them and more or less figure out, they kind of have a good grip with their
And
personalities.
I just ask you a question every now and then, like, what is up with those, on the pink-haired girl? What is up with her ears? Are those her ears? Are those earrings?
Oh, yes, I'm actually gonna pull, you know what, I'm gonna just pull up that image myself, just to make sure I don't forget. Come on. It's thinking. Oh, the pink-haired girl. So the dancer, not the blonde. Or like not the blonde, with the two-toned hair. Yeah. Which that was one of those things I thought was, again, like I think I said that these characters were kind of like they really were just kind of a Frankenstein kit bash of what I thought was like cool or colorful or whatever. And yeah, the pink-haired girl, I think she was supposed to be like a fawn or something. So yeah, she does have little...
Oh, so those are her ears. Okay.
Yeah, she was supposed to have cute floppy ears, but I really didn't know how hair worked, so I'm not sure if her ears would be on the outside of her hair or if the hair would...
We'll make things up as we go along.
Yeah.
Does she have a ponytail?
Yeah, and it's like a really long ponytail. Yeah, and I didn't know like if you were gonna like refine the designs at all, redraw them yourself, and that was it. And how dynamic the poses were allowed to be.
That's a
that was
plan.
another thing. I didn't even try to pose these characters when I drew them. I didn't. So that probably doesn't help with their personalities if they're not showing off any emotion. Also scale. Because like it's kind of funny that if you look at the fawn girl, it's like the two... But also there's no sense of perspective either, because like Aegon and Melina, the two kids in the middle, they're supposed... I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be, small children, and the two next to them are supposed to be the more, well, quote-unquote adults of the group.
I see. I'll just draw them chibi.
Well, I mean, yeah, also just because I didn't know how to fit them on the page properly, so... And I didn't even try to do overlap or anything. So yeah, I didn't know, since they were going to be drawn individually, I didn't know if we were going to do kind of more slightly fancier poses and then carefully mount them over each other. But yeah,
I don't know. Just go with whatever. What's she, what is that? Is that a fan?
oh yeah, yeah. I didn't play that many RPGs, so I didn't know how common fans were at the time. I thought,
Okay.
oh hey, a battle dancer, that sounds amazing.
So she uses a fan. 2 fans.
Well, yeah. Originally, they were matching, like they're perfectly matching. But I'm thinking, like, if I were to refine their designs, I think one would be this fluffy, really pretty fan, and the other would be, I don't know, like just metal, metal, which she could use for blocking or attacking or something. Because I remember,
Okay.
yeah, I think I remember thinking at one point in time, like I thought of a fan that was like actually a sword or something. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then I realized everyone did it.
Alright.
And then the big guy, when it comes to his weapon, like honestly, I didn't go hard enough with the intent of like, oh hey, the thing is that his.
Okay.
Hey, what if I tried to just cram as many weapons into one as possible? And then I think I remember I saw the halberd, and I'm like, oh hey, that's got like an axe, a spear, and I'm sure if I put something heavy on the other side, it could be a hammer. And then like let's put a hidden sword in it.
Understandable.
And I think when I saw Sayuki, I think I wanted there to be a magic hidden chain just because.
I see.
Super really cool or whatever. And yeah, it's kind of like I said, I didn't flesh out their backstories like deeply. Like I barely know their party function. Yeah, I mean, yeah, more or less. I've been trying to think about their party dynamics lately, and oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, I didn't know if you were talking. I thought I heard you for a second. Didn't know if you were cutting in and out because of.
Nope, I wasn't talking.
Yeah. So let's be honest, RPG Maker. I don't know how it actually works. So I don't know how
You've never tried it?
impossible or easy this would actually be to program. But I will playing Thousand Arms. Playing Thousand Arms did inspire one thing. Or like, yeah, I did like there was one thing in Thousand Arms. I think what I would kind of like to see if these characters were in a game was the big guy. He would be, I don't know how you would program this, but basically he would be at the front at all times. It'd be more of a
Yeah, he'd be the tank.
yeah. Well, it's like he would be in the front at all times, and it's his job to protect the rest of the party because like. I think, in a lot of RPGs, every character has a function, so it's like, I think I would...
You'd make him the tank, basically.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, that's his thing, is that it's his job to, obviously, protect all his party members, like, they... But I mean, like, I think... But I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I would... Like, I mean, for the most part, like, he would take the brunt of the damage, but I'm thinking like maybe some enemies would have just to maybe to add some sense of danger. Some enemies would like be able to would have like a higher hit rate of different characters. Like it's like where there's one thing where it's like on one hand it's like you got the big guy ready to do his thing, but instead like I don't know, maybe the enemy is able to for some reason has a higher chance of hitting someone else instead of him, so that way you can't just rely on him doing the tank thing or whatever.
I see.
Well, it's one thing, like, yeah, I've been trying to think about their party dynamic, and it really was just kind of basic stuff, like the big guy with the weapon, he's the tank, he does most all the fighting. The girl with the fans. I didn't know this at the time, but yeah, too much of this at the time. But yeah, like the dancers are the ones that they do like status effects and or like status buffs, whatever. So it's like I'm thinking. I don't know how to explain this honestly cleanly or eloquently or whatever, but and especially because I'm also curious if this would even be fun as a game, is gameplay and plot segregation gets me a lot and makes it hard to enjoy a lot of games. And one thing I always kept kind of wondering, or like when I started thinking about it, these characters were in a game, is if basically there was just constant area field and enemy and on character constant basically status ailments and buffs basically at all times, kind of to help give the characters a sense of personality.
Like some kind of weather system.
Well, kind of like that, but it was like it's done in a way that like it makes the characters feel like no matter where they are or what they're fighting, there's always some effect being cast on them. So it's like it's not just like one of those things where it's like it doesn't matter what you're fighting. The player obviously makes all the choices, and it's like it's just so funny that story-wise, you'll have one character who's supposed to be a coward, yet gameplay-wise, you can have them take on a monster 100 times their size and win, showing no sign of fear. And it's like, and I don't know how frustrating that. Well, okay, okay, sorry. If this was a game, the main thing I was thinking of is monsters and like monsters, the field, the characters, but basically they would have their base, like their base stats and everything. But there would kind of like be these intensive like modifiers or what's the word? What's the opposite of modifier? Attractor, whatever. Where it's like,
Okay.
well, let me start like. I'm trying to think the fastest way to say this. Where I don't know, like, okay, actually, sorry, this might help. Yeah, okay, each character in this, like, in this game, or like this game idea, whatever, every character, like, they have a party function. Like, they're not, this isn't gonna be like some of those RPGs where if you're patient, you can build your character however you want. Like, this is very much learning to work with, basically, it's kind of like you work with these characters. Like, and, like, you know, you can't, and I'm thinking like that would be kind of like your goal as the player is like your reward in the story is basically the more like when you help these characters through their personal problems, whatever, it would actually reduce the negative effects they can feel at times. Like some things might be more baked in until like the very end, but I'm thinking like, you know, throughout the game, they all have their problems and, like, maybe hard baked in, like, phobias or whatever. That makes being in certain areas or certain enemies will, you know, they might be uneasy. They might, you know, not be able to perform as well. While other times, in some areas or some enemies, they'll perform just fine. And, like, I'm just, you know, let's use Aegon, for example. He's the item keeper. Like, you can't see it very well, unfortunately, but he's supposed to have this jumbo backpack full of random crap. Like he's a literal pack rat. And anyway, but like he's the one who uses all the items. I'm thinking maybe, you know, before a fight, Aegon can potentially hand out 1 or 2 items to a party member to use if he can't, you know, to save a turn using him. However, it's one of those things where I'm thinking like you can't, like, you know, but you can't abuse it too much because, or if Aegon uses an item on a companion, like, and depending on the conditions we're in, like if it's in a intense fight or if like one of his phobias is triggered, whatever, he might be shaky. You know, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe even include like text prompts for flavor, is to convey an item missed and then you hit the character properly. It's not like, you know, Aegon actually comes, he drops the potion and it cracks on the ground, or he tries tossing it to the warrior or whatever, but again, shaky hand, so it doesn't land right or something, and
I see.
on the flip side, if you help him and he's more confident, then obviously he gets better at dishing out items. Maybe even, maybe at the end of the game, you help him really get his courage up and help him with his problems. He can do, this thing where he's able to, I don't know, carefully do a follow-up throw or something, where he can, toss 2 items to 2 different people or something like that. Like, I wanted these characters to have problems reflected in gameplay, and like your motivation as the player is to help them reduce their problems. Like the big guy, one of the things I was thinking about him was he kind of has like, well, it's one of those things, is he was like he's your stereotypical, like, to me, big guy Oni kind of thing. And I was thinking, like, basically his thing, I'm not sure how well to convey this, but basically he has a rage gauge, whether he's taking a hit, hitting an enemy, or even watching one of his party members get hit. I'm thinking, like, basically, he has
like a rage
there's kind
meter,
of well, I'm
which
not quite
allows
sure
him
the right
to
word.
allows him to like reflect damage eventually.
Well, I'm thinking, like, but here's the thing: is the important thing I'm trying to make sure I got right.
Or
is,
allows him to do his ultimate, or something like that.
well, the main thing I'm trying to think is, like, the way it's distributed, though. I'm trying to make sure how to keep that fun. So I'm thinking, like, I'm almost thinking one of those weird things where it's like, and I don't know if depending on, because he's got a multi-tool weapon, and I'm actually wondering, and I'm actually not sure if, depending on which weapon you use, if each weapon has its own perks and benefits, because I wanted it to feel like he was the main damage dealer, like he had a weapon that can do everything, but at the same time, though, I'm thinking, like, I had this thing where it's like, oh, hey, what if every tool, like, had its own ups and downs or whatever. It's like, and you gotta be smart with how you use it. And one of the things I was thinking of is he had some kind of, for lack of a better term, short-sighted, I don't know if it's like in the short-sighted bloodlust or something, but I'm thinking, like, if you're not careful and you have him just attack too much, he starts to, like, fixate on, like, certain enemies, like, or if his, basically, sorry, like, he gets in, depending on if you get too attack happy, like, you don't, or if you use one weapon too many times or something, I don't know.
See.
He'll start to go berserk in, like, different ways. Like, one, it might be, he'll, like, wail on an enemy, and even when it's dead, like, have a text, like, even though the monster is technically defeated, like, have a text prompt say, Shaw is so consumed by bloodlust, he continues to attack the enemy, even though it's literally just a corpse. And the problem is he's so focused on literally maiming a dead horse that the monsters can actually attack his party without him even knowing it, kind of thing. Like, if
Yeah,
it gets that bad.
I guess that makes sense.
Or another thing is, on the flip side, it's like, oh, I actually forgot. Or another thing I was thinking of, and again, this would have to be, I mean, games are supposed to be about, good timing and whatnot, so I obviously don't know how to make this feel good as an actual gameplay mechanic. But another thing I was thinking of is if he was in rage mode, like, I mean, to the point where you get a text prompt like that, and he's literally wailing on an enemy's corpse, and, like, but here's the thing, if it's the last enemy on the field, I'm thinking, like, Shaw will actually turn into an enemy momentarily. Like, he's so consumed with bloodlust, he actually can't tell friend from foe, and he sees the party member, and he's like, just sees them as the next thing to maim. However, I'm thinking with the party's different powers, they can work, I'm thinking, like, depending on your luck, you can choose to either retreat, like, I mean, you can choose to run away from him, or maybe use your item, like an item, or work together to subdue him. And I don't know, I actually don't know, depending on your actions, if that'll affect things or not. But I always just thought it'd be kind of fun, because I think I've seen that in one or two anime, where it's like, the main character, or one of them, he's got this berserk mode, and he can't, his friends show how much they care by, sticking with him regardless. They find a way to subdue him. And I'm thinking that's Shaw's... I think I remember that was the stereotype I started with Shaw, was the, he's a monster, he doesn't, and all he knows how to do is fight and kill, but meeting these three weirdos, it's like, oh, but what if I use my strength and violence to protect those I care about instead of, what if I can redeem my wretched existence by just being sword and shield for these people or something. Like, I think that was supposed to be his thing. And even then, I'm pretty sure I got that from like Sayuki and Inuyasha and a bunch of other stuff I saw at the time that.
Rurouni Kenshin.
So yeah, for the most part, that was his thing. Is that, in battle, some enemies can have a higher chance of hitting others, but for the most part, he's your damage sponge and your main dealer. However, to keep it fair, if he's the only one that can be attacked for the most part, or even if enemies work around him, he has this rage gauge of sorts that, I know, it could be like, well, depending, maybe like that could be your motivation, is if you help him, his rage gauge can turn into more of righteous fury to reduce him turning into a monster. Like, instead, if it's more of a, one of his party members gets hurt, he might go into a berserk state, but it can also be more of like a, you hurt my friends, this is unforgivable, and he, it's a more positive moment instead.
I see.
I'm not sure. Anyway, Fran, the dancer, I think, like, her main thing is that, obviously, like, I think she can, she has her own problems, too. I remember, I think her gimmick was that she's the obnoxious nice girl. Like, she's the cool big sis that she's just there for everyone, and she'll listen to you no matter what your problems are, and yada yada yada. But deep down, she's got her own problems. But I'm thinking, like, her power being the dancer is she can mildly manipulate morale. Like, if Aegon is scared, maybe she can, like, she could cheer or encourage, and that could potentially...
I see.
And but again, this is also more overcomplicated stuff. And I don't know how to streamline this. In a programming language, I don't know how I could take all these ideas and, like, really...
Some kind of animal girl. Aris?
Huh?
Oh, Aris was just asking what she is.
Oh, is that a dragon? Oh, she's a... No, for some random reason, she's like part fawn, part fox for some reason. And I remember why. I actually remember why she's got fans and a foxtail. Because I remembered I thought Elle-C from Don't Hack GU was the hottest. As a kid, I thought Elle-C was just the hottest thing I saw in an anime, and I loved her back fan and foxtail. And I was just like, yes, I'm gonna just randomly nab that. Also, I actually cannot tell you why she's wearing a fez. At least I think I think that's what it is. I think it's supposed to be a tiny fez. I have absolutely no idea why she's wearing one of those. And again, I don't know how. Like, I don't know how well her jewelry is represented. Like, her skirt is multi-layered. Like, she's got like a green kind of like. She's got like a green high school mini skirt, and then over that she's got like this blue and yellow star sash over that, and then just a red belt, like a red rope belt wrapped around her skirt. Like, I for some reason thought, being a dancer, I thought like giving her as many layers as possible. And yeah, I don't know why she's also, and she is wearing a cow, or like not a cowbell, a little kitty bell necklace, because I'm assuming I saw an anime do that, and I thought that would be cute. But also, being a dancer, depending on the way she's dancing, that bell would probably just not be a nice aesthetic, but I've heard in some places bells repel evil, so for all I know, maybe, for flavor text, it could be like, Fran, tell Fran to dance, and like,
I believe
the sound of Fran's jingling bell.
That
calm
originated
Shahi
as
down.
early as medieval times, that bells are used to repel evil spirits. That's why we have toasts. That's why we have a toast before meals.
Oh, I didn't think of that at all. Huh. Um. Yeah, like, I think that's Fran's main gimmick, is being the dancer. She can, like, to an extent manipulate morale, but it's not like this. It's not perfect. I'm thinking like she can like only kind of cheat the odds in her favor. And
I
one thing I was
see.
actually thinking of is with her, and again, I think this is something you earn. This is something you would have to earn. Is like the whole thing about Shahid being the meathead, meat shield, barbarian guy. My only thing is fighting. I'm thinking he would be. I don't know how to do this well. I have no idea how you would do this tastefully, but I'm thinking he is a bit of a. He is like overzealous in his
Okay.
mission to protect
You're
them to the
back.
point
Gonna
where
get
he's
some
like.
water. Keep talking.
point-
It's okay.
To the point where he's like, maybe like straight up misogynistic, where he thinks Fran's just a. Where like he thinks Fran is the damsel. Like I'm thinking like. And it, like, or maybe like kind of this on and off thing where it's like, you know, because it's his job to protect. Maybe he would like get, if Fran got hurt specifically, he might get like extra angry or something because it's like, you know, he might like he starts to develop feelings for her. Maybe depending on how you have them interact or something. But I'm also thinking like, one of the things Fran can eventually learn to do to help Shahid, because I'm thinking like, because obviously being the tank, he's still being, even though he's the tank. Obviously, he can't just take beatings forever. And I'm thinking, like, one thing Fran, I'm thinking, can do to not only... I don't know how to balance the risk versus reward, because I'm thinking, like, Fran can join him in a fight. Like, being a dancer, like, she's not going to be on the quite on the offense as he is. But I'm thinking, like, she kind of does this weird, like, protective dance where she, like... Well, like, basically, while Shaw is, like, either defending or fighting, she learns how to move with him. Like they're coordinate, like they. I don't know how you if you level this up. Like she learns to coordinate herself with him and like just being near her. Like Fran, the way Fran gracefully moves around him, it calms him down and potentially keeps his either reduces the rage gauge or just keeps it frozen for a moment, so that as he's fighting, it can potentially it either. Like, maybe to prevent it being too broken, maybe it can, like, only delay it. Like, he can still go berserk or something, if... But also, another thing to add the risk versus reward is, on one hand, the boon is Fran is reducing his rage gauge building and him potentially turning into an enemy, or whatever. But on the flip side, you know, Fran is now on the front lines with him. I mean, yes, she's dancing, she has a higher evasion than him. But if she does get hit, I'm thinking, you know, Shaw will go berserk even faster. You know, because she got hurt or something, you know? But on the flip side, but if she gets hurt, obviously, while trying to assist him, I'm thinking that could lead to other problems. Because, like, if she gets injured, maybe even have a text prompt, depending on if it's, like, a critical hit or she gets hurt a certain amount. Be like, oh yeah, Fran sprained her ankle and she can't dance properly, you know, she needs to stay in defense or something. Though I'm thinking Aegon can, though I'm thinking, like, you know, since Aegon being the item carrier,
Hello,
maybe
Kermit.
he can apply like some generic healing salve to help her ankle or something. Or, you know, again, since Aegon can give a certain amount of items to each party member, I'm thinking maybe, oh, Orc's here, cool. I might have to pay attention to his comments and see if there's anything he can say to help. Like, with these characters, I have no idea how. Because again, like, it's one thing. I didn't. When I paid you for commission, I had no idea if you were just gonna redraw them and that was it, or if it was gonna be full on subjectively and you were gonna be like, you know, this is a good start, but how can we make it better? How can we, you know, bring out what these characters really are? You know.
That's not my
I don't
thing.
know. Sorry, anyway. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, gameplay-wise, how good that would feel. Is like, you know, Fran does get hurt, you know, trying to help a Shaw, like an unlucky roll. But it's like, oh, hey, you know, you made sure to equip a potion on her before the fight, and So Fran quote sprains her ankle or whatever, but she's like, she quickly applies the potion, and I don't know if I don't know what kind of stat can maybe make this go faster. Like, Fran might take a while to fumble and get the potion out, or maybe she applies it instantly, or maybe that could be a bit of flavor text. Well, actually, like, that could be a bit of flavor text is, maybe on Aegon's turn, or something. That could be a passive Aegon has, is there you can have something like, Fran pulls the potion out, uses a potion but struggles to apply it to her injury. And then, I don't know, maybe like Aegon has a chance to sacrifice his turn in exchange for applying the potion anyway. I don't know if that'd be a good passive or even an option or not. Aegon uses his turn to actually just straight up walk over there and help her apply it. However, maybe since dang, I'm not sure. It's just there's so much to take into account, and I never know how to write all this down, like enemy targeting chances and all that. Anyway, so for the most part, that's the main three. Is Shaw is your tank and your damage dealer, and his thing is like the more he fights or the more damage he takes or the more his friends get hurt, it builds up the rage gauge, and depending on if he's the last one left on the field, or if something happens, whatever, he might turn into an enemy himself, and you'll have to fight him.
So basically, your tank is also your main damage dealer.
Well, it's one thing. I also just, at the same time, I just thought if this is done right, because I've seen a few anime even do this, I thought, oh hey, what if your main fighter had the chance to turn into a mini boss if you didn't take care of him? What if he went berserk and turned on you?
That's basically the plot of Xenogears.
Really? I haven't played Xenogears proper.
It's just they don't reveal it until much later. But that's basically the plot of Xenogears.
Cool.
He loses control, he becomes super powerful, but he also turns on his friends. But they don't know that, because his other form looks so different from him. They don't even realize it's him.
Okay.
You can tell as the player, because when you fight his other form, he has the exact same moves, except they're super powerful.
Okay, cool to know. So, but yeah, Aegon, anyway, item, he's the item carrier, like, that's his main gimmick, is he provides items for the party, and I'm thinking... So basically, I'm thinking like they covered the basics. It's like you got your warrior, damage, tank person, the person who can manipulate morale, basically. But also I'm thinking like, but also I forgot why I was thinking Fran getting one fan that's all cute and furry, the other that's like metal and attacky. Is she won't attack nearly as often. I'm thinking like she actually has a chance of actually dealing damage, to help.
Is that
fight go a little bit. Though I'm thinking maybe it's
Verducci-Man. Hello.
No, actually, that could be an idea. Is it's again dice roll. Like if she rolls a critical, it's like flat. Like it could be like a proper damage. But for the most part, all she does is like stun enemies, like to reduce their evasion rate or something. Like, she nicks them with her fan blade, and that causes that, that'll cause them to flinch or something. Like the scarring or the light cut she leaves, whatever, will cause the enemy to flinch in pain, which leaves an opening for Shaw. Or if it's a critical attack, then maybe she'll properly saw it, like the fan practically saws them or something.
I see.
And the last party member, Melina, I just don't think I was kind of I didn't know if this would be interesting or not, but the main thing there was some of the anime I watched at the time. I thought it would kind of be funny, interesting, whatever, if her gimmick, like her whole character arc, is that she's just this. I think what you call it, Ojo-sama. Basically, she's just this. She's just this. She's this sociopathic, rich demon girl, and I think, and like it's, the wings and the tail and everything. I forgot if she was going to be some. Succubus is a sexual thing, so I didn't want it to be that level. It's just like one of those weird things where it's like she basically just has like this, because of her powers, her influential powers, whatever. She has a bit of a, she has like this inflated ego of herself, and like she'll like. I was thinking like, basically, it's a dice roll on whether she'll help or not because she can fly. I was thinking, like, while everyone else is on the ground struggling, she can be, like, flying up in the air, like, looking down on everyone. Though I'm thinking, thanks to enemy type and level style, I'm thinking, like, casting different effects, that might not be the case. Like, I mean, there might be a time where it's like, I don't know, it's like, examples like, oh, they're indoors, and she might not be able to fly too high because of the roof, or sometimes she might, depending on the style. Maybe she can hide in the railings. Or it's a cave and, she doesn't like, she can't, if she tries to fly, she'll hit her head on the ceiling or something. And then obviously being grounded with the rest of them, that'll bruise her ego, and then that'll cause her own status effects, whatever. But for the most part, I'm thinking like she's, depending, and again, this also more motivation to help her improve. Is basically she'll either do nothing, maybe cause a status ailment herself, or just actually help you. Because like she's got her hook tail, and I was thinking like, oh hey, it's like if she, it's like, oh hey, if she does choose to help, she could use her hook tail to lasso an enemy and keep them anchored or something. Or since she can fly and she can get a better angle, something like, Aegon throws Aegon throws an item, and then to get the text prompt that says, Aegon throws an item, but he missed the mark, and then immediately followed with Melina's turn. Melina caught the item midair and applied it, Or actually, no. And again, this might be kind of one of those. The gambling system is doing a Melina's thing where it's like, oh yes, Melina caught the item mid-air, it's, prevent the item from being used. And instead of applying it to Shahid, she chugs the potion herself, even though she doesn't need to be healed or something. Just something funny like that. Just make, like, just to help sell that she's just, at the beginning of the game, she's just this horrible person, But, like, at the end of the game, depending on how you level, how the kind of relationship she makes with the party. There's another thing, I'm wondering if there's also party dynamic where they might bond faster than others. Like some characters some characters might be easier to bond with than others, and that might bring party build into account, but yeah, I'm thinking with her control thing, like her strong influence ability, I'm thinking that's another thing is she can, she can use it for good and like use her her influence to make an enemy serve her for a turn, or maybe the whole. Depending on how weak-willed they are, depending on the enemy type, maybe she can be like literally. She just kind of shoots a glance at one enemy and it's her servant for the rest of the mission. You're like the rest of the fight, or maybe it's.
I see.
Sounds
like
for a single turn. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, basically, her main gimmick is that she'll either, be a boon and do something really great for the party, or she'll just be there to piss you off. And again, I think I might know where I got that idea. I was watching Akatalili and Elemental Ogre play Earthbound, and the way Porky or Pokey, I forget which it is. There's a lot of flavor text where it says he doesn't do anything. Like he'll say, "Oh yeah, Porky played dead," or "Pokey sat in the corner crying," or something, you know. And I was like, but what if we took that further? What if, you know, what if, you know, she actually, like, you know, it wasn't just flavor text to waste a turn. Like, she would actually hurt you if, you know, you got a bad roll or something. Or, you know, another thing is with, if she does choose, like, Aegon, like, because I'm thinking, like, Aegon, one of his things is he does have a high failure rate, maybe. Because it's like, oh yeah, well, that's this thing where it's like, I wanted items to be like a lifesaver. So it's like, oh yeah, Aegon throws the item, but like, you know, oh, he threw it wrong and it cracks, or instead of throwing it, he tries to run over and, you know, and if it says Aegon ran over to help, that his hit rate spikes and the enemy can go for him instead. You know, which obviously if Aegon gets hurt, then Shahid gets. If a party member gets hurt, then Shaw, like, his rage spikes or something. You know? Or it's one of those things. Like, and I'm kind of worried that this is less a game and more of a. I feel like this game is just like a slot machine. It feels like this game would be one of those like overly animated gotcha machines where it's like, you pull the lever, and you just watch them act, and I'm like, wait a minute, games are supposed to be played, not watched. But at the same time, it always bugged me in RPGs where it's like, yeah, I'm in this battle of life and death, but the party is just stoic face at all times, and they're making no mistakes. You know? But yeah, that's the party dynamic. And Melina, I thought is something that the player could be motivated to, more than anything, motivated to improve as a character, because she is a straight up antagonist in plain sight, where it's like, I kind of wanted, basically, with friends like these, where like, where Melina is honestly just as dangerous as any enemy, where it's like, you know, because like, or another thing is, Melina might make condescending comments, which also will manipulate morale. Like, you know, Aegon fails to use an item or something, and Melina heckles him for it. Or Shaw tanks a hit. Shaw tanks a really big hit, and Melina you know, I mean, the text box, I don't know, like, how you can, if you get an array of quotes to use, or just kind of a bit of a description that leaves it up to the imagination, where it's like, you know, Shaw tanks a huge hit to protect one of his party members, and she looks down on him, ooh, that looks like that hurt, and then Shaw's just like, you know, in the back of his head's like, why am I risking my life for this stupid kid? You know? And I don't know if, like, maybe, and again, him being a demon warrior, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if there might be some kind of blood oath thing, like, maybe Melina's party saves it, like, when they recruit him, because I have no idea how they meet yet. Maybe they take pity on him and they save his life. And
is this like your idea for JRPG?
Yeah, like, if I were to make a real game with these characters, I'm trying to figure out, like, because I'm actually not sure who the true hero is. I don't know if Melina would be our central focus, if Aegon, our adorable little coward, if he would be our central focus. Because, like, that's it. And I'm kind of wondering if, because, I mean, and that's another thing, I'm kind of wondering if I should go Dragon Quest or Dragon Quest 4 or Octopath with this, and, you know, or Wild Arms. Wild Arms did it too. Is you choose who you want who you want to focus on. Then I also realized that's going to take a lot of programming and a lot of good writing, because, like, I want this game to be what I wanted Octopath to be, where the characters are actually talk to each other and their party dynamics mean something, as opposed to where it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm being too harsh on it, but, like, Octopath was, I could not enjoy Octopath. I tried. I wasted so many hours trying it. I didn't know if, like, maybe depending on the relationships, depending on how the characters interact, if that would actually affect their stats differently. but the thing is, this also comes into dating sim where it's like, oh, you can't. I'm thinking like one of the things where, oh yeah, like to prevent the game from being easy, you can't just have the characters be buddy at all times. Like maybe you can organize events, like well, actually, maybe increase your chances. Maybe like maybe you can like there are certain events you can trigger where the party has a chance to interact as a group, but like based on certain stats or whatever, like characters will just naturally pick each other out. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do the beach episode. Like this is great. This is gonna be a great team bonding experience. I don't know. It's like Melina steals a wallet Aegon has because he's the treasury as well. And everyone, and Melina, but Fran doesn't realize this because she's too busy trying to give pep talks to Shaw to say, oh, I know you're a really good person, you're not really evil, or something, or you might roll a success and everything goes sailing and it's like, oh yeah, Melina humors Aegon with playing with him, or actually listens to his feelings or whatever, or Fran sympathizes with Aegon, and that increases his relationship with one of them. Or Shahid is, even though it's beach day, he's all dead serious and always on the lookout, for if they're not in trouble, someone else, like maybe like lifeguard. Like he's just eyeing everyone, making sure someone needs help or something, and that might distract him too much, like stuff like that. Like, it could be like if I could somehow program this, like that's the kind of shit I would like to see, where it's just like a gotcha visual novel where like a gotcha choose your own choose your own adventure visual novel thing where the main goal at the end of the game is to try and get your party to be as functional as humanly possible. I mean, like, the basic choices, the player does have basic choices. Like, the player can choose, could choose to tell Fran to jump in and help Shaw. But again, at the same time, though, depending on how bad it is, there's also the chance of it failing. You could tell Fran, help Shaw, but then he might do that generic anime thing where if he's on the offense, or actually, if he gets too defensive, if he's tanking too many hits, he might do the generic anime thing where it says, Fran gets ready to leap in and help Shaw. Shaw turns around and says, "Stay back! It's not safe!"
Hello, zombie.
And then that causes Fran to, she does the generic anime girl thing where, oh, he raised his voice to her, that causes her to freeze in place, But at the same time, it's like, oh, she's frozen in place, because Shaw yelled at her, that increases her hit rate by some enemies, Or, it's like, or that increases Shaw's hit rate even more because it's the anime thing where he's physically looking, like, even though he's holding the enemy in place, he's physically turning around to say, stay back, It's like, and then it's like, oh, that spikes the enemy's hit rate where it's like, oh no, the enemy got a cheap shot and knocked Shaw over, And it's like, Shaw is stunned for a turn, because he's trying to get back up, or something. Like, I don't know.
I guess.
I was one of those things, like, this would be probably impossible to program and probably not be fun at all. But I wanted it to just literally be like, basically mild influence, but for the most part, I somehow wanted to have a game where it was more or less just, an anime, like, it felt like an interactive anime, where the weren't perfect, like at all times. You never know how much shit would hit the fan. But at the same time, I'm also, Radical Dreamers. That's another one. That was another game that when I was watching / playing it, I was like, why do I love this? It's literally just a choose your own adventure book, but
I like it as well.
But it was like, oh yeah, there was just something so wonderful about it.
It's also the music. It has really nice music.
Oh yeah, Radical Dreamers / Chrono Cross has phenomenal music. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, and I always feel bad every time I say someone's name aloud, because I'm like, leeching off other people kind of gets me sometimes, but also at the same time, some of these times I feel like I'm praising my own ideas without anything to back it up, where it's like, oh yeah, I want something like Radical Dreamers, or I want something like one of the Tales games or something. It's like, no, that's a very high bar to set yourself to. And they didn't just, those games were ahead of their time. That wasn't made by some random person, But
Oh, it's always good to have aspirations.
I know, it's just... Anyway. So yeah, that's the annoying thing. I don't even know who this would appeal to. It's like, basically, yeah, seriously, it's a... Like, battles are a... It almost has a, Seriously, I'm trying to break this down. It's like, okay, you got visual novel, kind of a choose-your-own-adventure, almost kind of virtual pet thing going, because it's like you don't really control the characters at all. You kind of mildly push them in the right direction. But it's like, so it's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to, like, stop and realize, I'm like, who would this appeal to? I'm kind of now worried if this was a real product, like, who would even buy this? This is definitely not for... I don't know if this is a casual game, or this would be, like, super frustrating, experimenting with party dynamics and dice rolls and,
I guess it would appeal to JRPG aficionados. Gotta grab my
well, it's not the same.
Watercolor. Here, Dad.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna actually get some water because I'm talking too much.
I'm back.
Just a sec.
Music is from Suikoden 2. This is an original character by Dakota Miller Harris. Is a commission.
Oh. Anyway,
Yes?
oh yeah, sorry, I was just trying to stop and think again. But yeah, like their full-on backstories, I have no idea. I mean, I've had some. I think I vaguely remember one or two ideas for each one. It was like Fran. I'm trying to remember. Again, I'm not sure how this happens, but I think I remember Fran actually being like she's like very sociable and because she has this. I can't remember like why she has to do this, but like basically I think like it was something weird. It was like her. Wow, I don't know why this is so hard to find the right words for this. Where she leaves her small, isolated little community, whatever, because she wants to bring back, like, I guess, like, true stories of the world or something. Because, like, I think, like, to an extent, she was, like, raised, like, kind of, like, raised on, like, tall tales, or basically tall tales, lies, or second or third hand, or, you know, I heard, you know, about the outside world and people or whatever, and basically,
I get it.
and so basically she, you know, and I think, and like, and she dresses up as like a dancer / entertainer, because it was just kind of like, it was like one of those weird things where it's like kind of as a basically it's like part also to show her defiance and outspokenness, where she's like, you know, if you leave our village, you know, people will take advantage of you, or people will, you know, and she's like, well, then I'll, you know, it's like, and then she thinks, oh, she'll become like this entertainer or whatever, like she'll make people, she'll, you know, she'll get eyes on her, so that way, you know, she can get more stories out of people. Like, if she can get people's attention, she can start conversations, you know. But and I'm thinking like, but I'm thinking just to make sure that the whole "I'm a lady but not a pushover" thing is why I was thinking like one fan would be fluffy and soft, the other would be metal and dangerous, is to show that, you know, there's two sides to her. You know, it's like, you know, there's two sides to her. It's like on one hand, yes, she chooses. Basically, it's like she chooses to be as cute, hot, or pleasant as possible because she wants, like, she wants to make people happy. She wants, you know, she wants to basically, you know, she, on one hand, she wants to make people happy, but she also does want the truth as well. So it's like, so while yes, she is an entertainer, she also, I mean, on one hand, yes, in the real world, this requires literally decades of academics and whatnot. But I think she also might be kind of a, you might consider her an amateur therapist or sorts. Like her big thing is like she wants to, like, in the best way possible, dissect people and like figure out what their problems are. And like I think that's why she would be the morale manipulator. Is she's like, you know, that's her thing. Is she wants to help troubles. She wants to get to the root of the problem. And if something and though this might make combat a little awkward, you know, I don't know if Fran might even have the power to calm enemies down. And depending on Shahid's mood. Well, here's the thing: if Shahid is too violent, maybe Fran, you know, if Fran does a successful roll, that'll calm him down. But like, maybe depending on the enemy type, it's one of those things where it's like, depending on the enemy type, it's like, if Fran can calm the enemy down before Shaw goes berserk or gets too into it, the battle's over, but it's like, it's still good. Or like, it might be kind of an on and off thing, like, you know, not a flat boon, because it might be like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, Fran calmed down the monster and it quietly walks away, you know, it doesn't want to fight you anymore. But at the same time, Shaw is kind of like, you know, gets almost a little angry, because he's like, you know, it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh yeah, he didn't get the shit kicked out of him, that's good. But on the flip side, it's like, he didn't get the shit kicked out of him, he's not getting stronger. He's like, you know, and I don't know if that would even trigger an event where it's like, if Fran goes on a
so like
streak.
Tails skits, like the skits in Tails game.
But I also want to make sure the skits actually affect stats. Like, if I don't know if I don't know. There's something that did bug me in Tales of. Again, I'm really trying not to talk too much smack about Tales of, because it really is an amazing franchise. Because people like have gone on depth saying just how deep these characters are and how great the world is. But like, if I get a skit, I want it to affect the stats. Like, if Fran, like, just dice roll. Like, if Fran legit keeps
You
getting
just want to play Western RPG basically.
Well, it's like if Fran, if for whatever reason, like that's what the dice RNG gods want, Fran, successfully gets a pacifist streak and keeps getting the enemy to leave, whatever. Like, Shaw starts to get angry and says, like, basically, it's one of those things where it's like, on one hand, it's like, she's protecting him and all of them. But that starts to make him angry, because it's like, wait a minute, if she can defeat the enemy just through pacifism and being kind, then what good am I? I'm only good at breaking stuff, and so I don't know, that might actually make him angry or resentful, or
or
he
insecure,
might even,
I guess.
Hell, it could trigger a quest where he leaves the party, because he feels like he's lost his, like
He's lost his role. Basically, he's insecure.
Well, and yes, it's one of those things, like, that was the main thing about him. I wanted him to just be this, I feel like in the best way possible, I wanted him to be just kind of just this toxic, controlling meathead that, like, very self-loathing, and it's like he's got this gut instinct to just break stuff, but he also is very protective of those that he marks as his, like whether he sees them as clan property, I'm not sure. But, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, even when they're doing something wonderful for him, like, I'm thinking, like, that's one of Shaw's flaws that you have to work through, get over in the game, is he keeps denying help. Like, like Fran. Like, if Fran jumps in, he has a chance of telling her to stay back, or if Aegon, throws him an item or something. Like I don't know, like something like Aegon throws him an item and Shaw actually manages to catch it, whatever. And instead, like, something funny, like, Shaw catches it and crushes it in his hand, or throws it on the ground or something. Which, again, like, this does matter. Like, if Shaw crushes it in his hand, then that's a wasted item. But it's like, oh, if he just throws it on the ground, Aegon, you also could say, oh yeah, Aegon scurried over to retrieve the item Shaw dropped. But again, also, it raises hit chance, because Aegon he's moving towards the enemy, he could get hurt. But again, this is also where the other friends can come in. Because yes, Aegon will focus on the item. But I'm thinking, like, if Fran, like Melina, because her whole thing is she's the random assist or, status ailment character, Melina might swoop in and get the item. But again, as I just said, like, her habits, if Melina isn't, if we haven't worked on her character, basically this could happen, you tell Aegon, throw an item to help Shaw. Shaw catches it, throws it on the ground. It's like, I don't need help. I can still fight, whatever. Or Aegon scurries over to retrieve the item. Melina swoops in and gets the item for Aegon. And depending on your luck, Melina gives the item back to Aegon, or again chugs it for herself, or hell, maybe even doesn't even chug it for herself or give it back to Aegon. She might just hold it just out of reach because she can fly and be like, nah, come on, get it, which again might increase hit rate for both of them because Melina isn't paying attention, and she could be accidentally flying in towards the enemy by accident, which again, like, she could get hurt, and I don't know, it's just...
They're all very nice ideas, but personally I would recommend that you have an overarching story that's actually complete. That's actually complete before you start designing these characters around the story.
Yeah, this is the hard part, is beyond the simple goal of they have flaws that they need to get over to become better, the best person they can be, or they might just get worse depending on your bad luck. I don't know how. I honestly have no idea how these characters will meet. I don't know what will bring them together. Or it's like, I'm thinking Fran. I think her backstory was she's from this small, isolated little community, and she was raised on basically tall tales and fear, and saying that but the world is an ugly, scary place. Do not leave our little community. If you do, you will be taken advantage of. But she's like, no, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to bring back as many tales of the world as I can. I'm going to prove there is good out there, you know. And that's why she loves everyone. Melina,
I see.
yeah, Melina, sociopath. You know, she was born with all this power and this power and ability, whatever, and she doesn't quite understand autonomy quite yet. You know, she. But at the same time, I'm also kind of curious, why would this spoiled brat be on grand adventures? So I'm not exactly sure how to make that work. I don't know if it'd be like one of those.
Maybe she's on a quest to return her family's honor or something.
or well, that's it. I'm not quite sure about that. That or sorry, but I just said maybe she has such a violent reaction to no. I don't know what the context is, but maybe she was told no about something, and it literally was so bad she, like, I don't know, runs away from home or something, and then Aegon and the others are people she tries to take advantage of because she doesn't have servants anymore. So, and that's how she sees them. Is she sees them all as different assets? Because like Aegon is good at collecting items and managing the money. Which again, of course, you can bully him into spending or giving, you know. Like Shaw is the meat shield. So it's like, oh yeah, she can abuse him. Or protection. Or Fran. You know, Fran's just the big sister entertainer,
right?
like basically I think Melina's reason for traveling with the different companions she meets is just they're her replacement servants. It's kind of like, you know, screw you, mom and dad. I'm gonna, you can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna have my own servants, and and they'll do everything I say. You know, of course, on the flip side, it's like, but then at the same time, you know, why she sticks with her main party is maybe that could be part of her story. Is the fear sets in. It's like, oh wait, she starts to realize, oh wait, mom and dad aren't there to protect her anymore. And if her new servants leave her, then, you know, just the thought of being truly alone maybe scares her or something. So that milestone might be an important thing to keep into account. And Aegon, if you look really carefully, he does have a chain collar. And I honestly can't remember if I put that in there because I saw someone else do it and thought it was. I remember now. Actually, I remember why he has a chain collar. The original Klonoa had one. I forgot. And then it was later. And then it was maybe later, I think I had the idea of, oh, he's a slave or something. Because I think, Fee from Tales of Berseria, I think he also was like a slave. And he had I think he also had a bit of a slave collar on him. And good lord, your poor model. Like out of context, I'm looking at your model and I'm like, it looks like her brain is melting listening to my ramblings. Like, yeah, your character looks like she's just completely checked out. Oh, that's funny. Oh, you're back to normal. So that was just great. You're, like, as I'm just rambling, your character is just like big eyes and just like your head twists and it's just like. Oh,
yeah, I was looking for something.
Oh, I know. I understood why it was happening. It was just really funny. And I also realized that, like, with Aegon, like, if he is a servant of some kind, like, that's. I feel like that's kind of something, like, that's another little bit of chemistry for him and Shaw to potentially bond over. You know, if you get them to talk to each other, is Aegon, you know, like, even though yes, he does want to understand, you know, embrace his autonomy, it's one of those things that's like, it's just, he's a follower, he's a servant, he wants to be a provider, like, he wants, you know, that's just all he knows. But on the flip side, that's something Shaw can relate to, but at the same time, it's like, you know, he also questions his own desire for servitude as well, where it's like, you know, to give himself value, because it's like, you know, I'm thinking like that's something they can bond over. It's like, what does it mean to serve? What does it mean to be a provider without giving away your autonomy, you know, or something.
I guess.
And also with another flaw with Aegon is a chance of him not using an item for a party member. Because like Aegon being like, you know, being the item manager, he could potentially get if items get low, whatever. So I'm thinking he might actually start to get stingy and like be too afraid to waste an item. You know, where it's like, yeah, it could be a very intense situation, and it's like he might stop and be like, wait a minute, if we basically, hopefully, just a sec. Okay, yeah, and maybe like kind of a less. I don't know if I'm accidentally doing the scene from what's it called, Dungeon Meshi or something. Or like the main character is blue screening because he realized, oh crap, we completely wasted our items. We didn't spend them properly. You know, he's sitting there over analyzing everything. Like, it might be that problem. So, but yeah, I'm thinking
I see.
I don't know how. Here's the thing, I don't know how they come together, but I feel like when they do come together, I feel like there is this desire. Like, basically, they all have something the other wants.
Hello,
basically.
Kid Wonder. Why are you not blue, Kid Wonder? Is that a different account?
Because I'm thinking what keeps them glued together is that desire for the other. Because like Shaw will travel with any of these companions because, oh hey, you know, it's someone weaker than me, someone I can protect, and that means, and if I'm protecting them, that means I'm using my strength for good, even if he might get overzealous. You know.
It's all good,
Melina,
Kid Wonder. I'll make that account blue when I can. I'm kind of busy right now.
And with Melina, she'll travel with any of the companions because, oh, you know, I desperately need new servants, you know, and any of them will do. You know, whether it's a meat shield, an entertainer.
I'm not saying that Kid Wonder is a fake, Aris. You're too suspicious.
And then Fran, you know, obviously she travels with any of the companions because any of these companions, the adventures they'll take her on are a chance to collect stories to share with her people, you know. So yeah, any combination of these characters do have a reason to work together in some way. Because like Aegon being the item carrier, it's like, you know, he can always be there to provide backup, you know, items and stuff. Like Aegon could totally travel with Shahid and keep him patched up.
Yeah, the fake of yours, Earth. That's interesting.
You know, or if Melina travels with Aegon, it's like, oh hey, Aegon has the items, the food, all of that. And Fran, you know, Fran would happily travel with Aegon because he's a good traveling companion, you know. And also because since Aegon's the item manager, he's probably also the one that knows how to sell. Well, when he's braver, I'm certain that'd be one of his flaws you work on. Or maybe this might be something Melina and Fran or whatever can help him with. Depending on the party member, it might change in different ways. Is Aegon learns how to be more assertive and learn how to sell items to bring in money for the party if that's important, you know.
I get it.
So yeah, it's like the characters have a reason to stick together because like they're basically, it's like I'm thinking like more or less they're all they've got, you know. Like, I mean, yes, they have their own desires and dreams, but I'm also kind of now wondering if I should also take into account what if you don't seek out your party members? What if that's not baked into the story? What if, you know, basically, how much would these characters struggle if they are all on their own? And another thing I also realized, since this is a game...
I mean, that's way too many possibilities, I would say.
And since this is a game, I also realized... Well, I actually forgot, all these characters they will need a way to defend themselves. And I realize they can all still do it within their gimmick, without outshining each other. Because I realize Aegon's thing is throwing items and stuff. So I'm thinking Aegon can stack on protective items. Like, which again, like, could make his, even if he's traveling alone, it's still scary because, Aegon, I'm thinking some items, and he can use no problem, but other items, he'll be more stingy about or scared to use, whatever. And Fran, obviously, she's got the whole yin-yang fan, where one is obviously eye-catching and pretty, but the other is weapon. So Fran does know self-defense. Also, she's part fawn. I'm sure she can give a real nasty kick if she wanted to. Melina, Melina has her hypnotic eye and hook tail and all that, so I'm sure she can. And she can fly, so there might also, so a lot of her fights might be, if she does get into encounters, it might be all about manipulating the enemy into leaving her alone or just flying away or whatever. And actually another point is combat, is because I'm thinking, like, I'm actually not sure if I do want combat to mean something, but at the same time I'm also not sure exactly how, basically, how much of that is, if there's, quote, combat stats and how much of that will affect plot. Because much like Persona and other RPG dating sims, I want to make sure that combat and story do complement each other. Like, if Shahid is doing something in battle, I want it to be because, either that will influence the story, or the story, something happened in the story that makes him want to hit harder,
Yeah?
Sorry, I'm just thinking, like, but it's the end goal, though. It's like, beyond them just kind of traveling the world and wanting to be better people. It's one of those things that I don't know if that's one of those things I eventually need to come up with an array of villains. Like, it's just people they meet on the way that either are actual bad people, or just it's a simple disagreement and so they're butting heads, but that's it. Or, because I really don't want it to boil down to, let's go fight some evil deity. Like, that's one of those endings I'm always afraid of, because it's like, I don't know how you keep that fresh and fun.
Flip it there.
And also another thing I realized, I forgot the end goal. I forgot another thing. This also comes down to Octopath and the Saga series, where your lead. I forgot your lead would also be could also be an important direction for the story, because, like, though, I mean, at the same time, though, their story, it's almost like maybe, like, their stories do collide, and that's where you gotta sacrifice. So I'm thinking, like, maybe it's like, yeah, sure, focusing on Aegon's story, but then Melina will try to yank you in one direction, but it's like, I'm thinking, like, actually make the player have to make compromises or something. It's like, yes, Aegon, if Aegon is more assertive, yes, he can focus on his story, but then that might make Melina be annoying, and, like, that might cause issues for the player. But it also would also strengthen the immersion, like, either make you hate Melina even more, or make you want to see her mature, because that's another thing. I have no idea if these flaws will make you love these characters or hate them. And with Shaw, it's kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of, even though he's supposed to be this edgy character, he's so brightly colored and mixed matched. Like, I honestly, to the point where I forgot him being an Oni. Which, by the way, I actually have seen some real Japanese artwork of Oni with green hair, so that kind of, that's why he's got red skin and green hair, is because I thought it was great for an Oni. And I'm thinking like why he's so mixed matched and whatnot is I'm not sure if it's quite a paper thin disguise. Because I forgot his hat, his which again I it's a kit bash of so many things because like I love how if you look at his hat, it's somehow a blue dyed straw hat like one of those like old cartoon farmer straw hats. But then he's got like then he's got like what I think is like a Viking helmet with, and I actually can't remember if the horns, and that's another thing. I forgot. And for some dumb reason, the horn, it's a straw hat, but it's got like a Viking helmet on top of that. And then for whatever reason, instead of horns, are like these floppy jester ears for no reason. I was just like, why does he wear that? Oh yeah, and I forgot. And the brown fabric is part of the hat as well. That's like the weird ear muffs, like the ear warmers or something like that. Like maybe why his clothes are so kit bashy is like it's like a paper thin disguise where it's like, yes, you can blatantly see his Oni green hair and red, stuff. But like, oh yeah, he tries to pass himself off as a mercenary or something. And his weapon. This is something. This is one idea I had was. I wasn't like didn't know to commit to it or not. Was like if his weapon was magical, or something like, or like I forgot if it was. Like he wanted. He wanted to learn how to control his demonic urges, and so he wanted to serve people. Use his strength for good. And I don't know if he goes on some quest to get his special weapon, or if over time, like basically over his time spent with humans, like he manages to kit bash the ultimate weapon. At least, well, quote ultimate weapon for this silly story, where it's a halberd with a halberd with a hidden katana or wakizashi, I'm not sure which, in it. And I remembered I never played Crisis Core, but there's this one line. There's this one line where Zack describes Soldier as a den of monsters. And I think I hilariously remember. I couldn't remember if at one point in time Shahid's weapon was literally going to be called Den of Monsters, or at one point in line he was just going to use that line where he says, "My weapon is like a den of monsters," as in like his weapon has. It's like a melodramatic way of saying how dangerous it is. And like,
I see.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If that's not too on the nose, like that could be a cute moment where, have Shahid. That's actually something weird about him is like is his Frankenstein all-in-one weapon. Is that he comments that like. Yeah, his rage paired with this weapon, is like a den of monsters. Yeah. So.
I mean, these are all pretty good story ideas.
Well, I mean, okay, I was worried these were just so generic and basic, like that there's no spice to them.
It's not
Like,
about
this was-
really. It's not about spice. It's about implementation. It's about execution, I would say. Like you could have the most generic story idea, but if you implement it well, I'm pretty sure that it would still be compelling.
And yeah. But actually, I forgot. No, there was a point in time I did try to have a villain. There was one point in time I actually did try to have a generic evil. It was I remember I found this word in a thesaurus once, and I was just like, I love this. I want this to be my villain name because I can't remember the last time anyone ever used it. I came across the word deleterious which literally just it's an adjective form of deletion. And for some reason, I'm like, that is such a great name for a world-ending monster or some psychopath. You know, that doesn't...
Sounds appropriate.
And again, I thought this was too melodramatic to ever do, but with Fran... Well, actually, it kind of comes down to all of them. Like, I feel like this is a story that would affect all of the characters in their own way, because it threatens all of them and appalls them in their own way. I don't know if this is an expanding evil empire, or if it's like, if this is something they stumble into if you're not careful. I was kind of thinking, like, with all these with these 4 characters, is like basically the big villain. But I was also afraid this also comes down to, once again, fighting the evil empire, and how are four colorful weirdos gonna do that? We're basically like, I don't know if it's this society, this movement, where it's basically just so desperate to basically it's, you know, in a desperate attempt to control people, whatever. It's just like, I don't know who's leading it, or if this is like an old culture gradually expanding. But long story short, but basically it's, I mean, yeah, they're just cartoon Nazis on steroids, where it's like, you know, it's all about population control and, you know, selective breeding and like autonomy. And they believe that autonomy is more of a, and you know, autonomy is not something you're born with. It's more of a poison that, you know, we are exposed to, and, you know, if we just stay on the right path, we won't be exposed to the poison of autonomy, whatever. And and the heroes, I don't know how the heroes get pulled into the society or whatever, but like, just to show the strength of the resolve, that might, I don't know if that'd be like the end. That like the closing act is like, maybe like when they're all strong enough or they have resolve, they try to survive in this society, which I don't know how they get pulled in the first place. Like, I don't know if this is a real society in their world, or maybe for whatever reason they get, or maybe that's just one of the stories is, for whatever reason, they get isekai'd into this evil world, because that's another thing, is they're all cute and fantasy, but when I try to imagine this dystopian world, it's like fake. It's like fake modern and like techie and everything. So I don't know so I'm not entirely sure how that would work.
I think what's more important is implementing these ideas. Choose something, implement them. Start by like just writing a basic story about them. And see how it looks once you're done. Like, write a short story about this empire, this whatever, this world that you're creating. Or maybe even about these characters, like maybe a one-off, like an OVA. Like, start a one-off short story, like an OVA, featuring all of these characters. And see how they interact when you write them. That's my advice, at least. Like, don't be afraid to start implementing them. Because, you always second guess your own ideas, is what I've noticed.
I will... Yeah.
You always second guess your own ideas. I'm not sure if, always say, not sure if people would like this, if this would be fun. Just do it, just go for it. At least from my perspective, that's how you should go about it.
Well, I mean, obviously that's really, and you know, that separates the people that actually get stuff done to people that just waste literal years.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, here's the thing. I was a visual novel developer once. We always had those types of people. We always had those. I was a visual novel developer. I made like over 22 visual novels. Most of them were short, some were long, some were amateurish, some looked pretty professional. But the thing is, if you have an idea, go for it. Just implement it. Don't let other people dictate other people's opinions, what you might think, what you believe other people might think of what you're doing. If what you're trying to make is true to your vision and, you like what you're doing yourself, just go for it. Is it arrogance? Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is arrogance. You need a little bit of that arrogance to get something done.
I heard that. I forgot the man's name, but I think it's the book. I listened to the audiobook. I didn't read it properly. I think it's called Neverwhere. It also got made into a live action show.
Well, you see, that's something I just said without any influence from that book. So, yeah.
Well, I was saying, sorry, that's where I first heard it, was the writer of that book. I think he said, one of those funny things about being a writer is, on one hand, have the arrogance of a child, but the humility of a adult or something. Whereas, on one hand, love your ideas, be passionate about it, but also keep an ear open.
Yeah, be grounded.
But yeah, so I think I took me long enough, but yeah, that's the rough party dynamic of these characters is. And I must admit, some of the recent stuff I've seen has inspired, thanks to Thousand Arms, where it's you got the lead hero and then you got the people in the back that, yes, I very much, when I saw them do that in Thousand Arms, I'm like, oh, if I could do it right, manipulate hit ratios and stuff, then yeah, Shaw can serve. Shaw is more than just the. It's he's the meat shield, but it's he's actually doing his job at all times. It's not like one of those. It basically it's he's got cover going at all times. Unless of course he gets caught in his bloodlust and he starts focusing too much on the enemies, on a specific enemy to the point where he completely ignores that his party's in danger, because I thought that would be. But then at the same time, there's also team attacks. It's I also like the thought of and again, there's also things the player can do to help influence team attacks, if Aegon and Shaw start becoming good friends, and Shaw he learns to accept help. If Aegon's please, let me help you, and he throws him a defense, an offensive item, a generic, not firecracker or something a little more protected than that. But I'm thinking that generic thing. Or something generic Aegon offers Shahid. Aegon uses oil and a lighter on the tip of Shahid's. Basically, you're gonna have Aegon and Shahid do a team attack where it's Aegon oils up and lights Shahid's weapon on fire, and I'm gonna assume it's either magical or made of some special metal. But Shaw now has a fiery weapon that, using the phobia, because maybe another thing I was kind of thinking there's also it's puzzle / chance, where not only do the heroes have phobias, the enemies have too, and oh hey, and also I'm thinking my late baby brother hated this, but I'm also thinking an important thing about this game is you would probably have to do the Sekiro thing, and a bunch in other games where it's you have to listen to NPCs and study the enemies, and be where it's oh yeah, I heard the creatures in this area. Yeah, the creatures around there, they don't like fire very much, or they don't like loud noises, or and think of you can that'd be an important way to make sure that you're to help certain battles go smoothly, is make sure you exploit enemy weakness. because, the heroes aren't the only ones who know fear. And actually, another thing I forgot, okay, I can't hack. I have no idea how to break into the game to know if this truly happened. But, like, my luck was so bad, I legitimately asked aloud when I was playing, Octopath, if the items you have equipped, if they affect enemy behavior. Oh, I was about to ask, is she too cluttered? Or, like, are you leaving some things out because they were, like, just too cluttery?
Yep.
Or, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry.
Try to make her design a little bit more clean.
No, I had forgotten. That's the thing I was hoping for. I forgot. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm getting what I want. Is you're actually. I think one last tweak is, can you make one of the fans? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if she's left-handed or right-handed. Which arm would be better for slicing, or if they should both be weapons.
Okay.
No, is that just and that's it. I'm not sure if that's just kind of a cute visual signifier, or if they should both be weapons or subtle weapons. Is that one basically more or less one has a puffy rim on the tip, and the other has the slightest serrated edge to it.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Like, other than that, I think, yeah, your streamlined Fran is great. Oh yeah, no, I think I forgot if I said this. Is that Fran's design? Like the main thing that Kit bashed it was, well, the reason why she has a fan in Foxtail is thanks to I forgot her name again. Is it Sheena or something? No, not Sheena. That's Tales of Symphonia.
Senko-san.
The dancer. The dancer from Lunar 2.
Jean. Her name is Jean.
Jean, thank you. I remember Jean. I think was part of it, and Miho, I think is her name. Miho, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, the anime.
I don't know.
When they play when they do the 2-part D&D episode, she becomes a fairy merchant. And if I remember correctly, I took one look at her outfit, and I'm like, oh, I want that. I want. But of course, though, of course, I think I threw in random patterns from stuff I liked, so there's more to it. But yeah. And then Fandango, why she's called Fandango is because I'm like, oh, hey, what's it? She uses fans, and she's a dancer, like, oh, like, and also I learned Fandango is a type of dance. I thought it was just so clever. I thought it was so clever when it was, oh, I'm going to name my fan dancer Fandango. And then also, hilariously enough, the nickname Fran, actually, I got from A Christmas Carol. Like, there's an important person in Scrooge's past named Fran, and I loved how it sounded. So I was like, oh hey, it's close. They've got it sounds close enough as a nickname, so Fran or Franny, I'm like. And I was just like, yeah, cool. She's got a cute nickname. And then with Shahid, why he has that name? Again, at first I was just looking up words. I was trying to just look up what are cool words for names. And then I came across the word Shahid, and I can't remember if the spelling is important or not. Because I think there's
Kamal Ahmad.
because I think there's one that it's like it's 2 E's, and then there's one where it's an I. And I can't remember if the influence matters or not. But I think when I looked it up, like, I loved how it sounded. I loved how it sounded, but then I was, at the time, always kind of I kept thinking I wanted to change his name, but I could not find anything that had the same feel to it as that. But when I looked it up, I think it meant, like, Shahid was like a Islamic or Muslim word for, like, a martyr or a watcher or something. But I think it also meant, like, witness or protector. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I want him to be. I want him to be a protector or even a martyr if need be. Like, I want him to, like, by the end, love his party to the point where he would lay his life down for them.
There we go.
And Aegon, thank you. She's beautiful. And then
you'll love it
Aegon,
more when I take a pic of it, because
well, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I'm hoping the texture is going to be even richer when it's properly scanned in. Oh, Yeah, she's
There she
lovely.
goes. Hello, Lowe's
Also,
Linux Gaming. Let's
also,
go move
by
on
the
to
way,
the next one.
Sorry, I will say I appreciate the offset. What was it? How do you say it? No, sorry, that's not the right word. Ahoge. I was about to say ahego, and I'm like, oh, that's another word entirely. Yeah, I was about to say, I love that you gave her an ahego, and I'm like, oh no, I meant
I'm all about the cute.
yeah, ahoge or something like that. Yeah, ahoge.
It is an ahoge. Yep.
As not to be confused with a hoagie, big sandwich.
Nope.
But yes, you give Fran just this innocent face. It's like, oh, you gave her. I love you gave her an ahego. That's not the right word. That is. Also,
You
actually, that's
finishing
another thing.
touches.
Sorry, now that I say that.
Hello, Psyche.
Sorry, now that I say that, Senra and Kagura reflections with Asuka and whatever.
Yeah.
There needs to be a way to make Asuka do an Iago. Just I want to see Asuka do the full on, just eyes roll in the back of her head, her tongue hangs out, there's visible breath. Like that'd just be hilarious.
She goes all so.
Yeah, even though I've apparently finished it, like apparently there's no more items to get, at least that, or I don't know how to do different combos to get items. Yeah, I still pop in reflections because I like Asuka as my little doggo.
I played it all of one time, I bought it and then I played it all of one time on stream and I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it's one of those things I actually like even though there's no more rewards, I do yeah, it's mostly like with Senra Kagura, I'm gonna try, since with how many characters I'm gonna have to get used to, I'm gonna play them all with their vanilla costumes. And if I do want to give Asuka any special costumes or treatment, I'll just have fun with my limited options in Reflections. Because unfortunately Reflections does not give you a really extensive library. Like, it's only got a few costumes and pieces.
I'll put some of these away, so I can start drawing again. Maybe for the next one I'll just use colored pencils and show you guys how blending works.
Oh, okay.
So, let's move on to the next. Wow.
Yeah.
That motion capture gets really weird when I leave the screen.
Oh, no, again, because every time it happened, I was like rambling, struggling to get my thoughts out, and it literally just looked like you were dying from brain rot listening to me talk. And it was just the funniest thing. I loved it. Like, so just screen cap it when it's really bad and just put a little text at the bottom saying, this is, Elle listening to me talk. Or rant or whatever.
Oh, look at this. She's a cutie. From Precure.
Oh! Wait, sorry, I just missed it. Who's that cutie?
She's from Precure.
Okay. That's super cute. Did you get that in like a little gachapon prize?
Yes.
Or what?
Yep. It was actually inside some kind of... I know, you submerge it in water and then she comes out, basically.
Oh. Those are so cute.
Yeah,
It's like, again, I don't...
soap bombs or something, shower bombs. No, bath bombs. Bath bombs.
No, it's like the freaking quality, though. Yeah, but like, that's such a nice quality, though. Like...
Yep.
I mean, it looks sturdy. It looks sturdy, sculpted, well-painted, like... Yeah.
He's from Japan. Somebody gifted it to me.
Cool.
Good friend.
Yeah, like... Yeah, if you can, say, like, the name of the product, I'd love to, like, look up. Or
This is a Precure bath bomb. There's a bath bomb for pre-cure.
Okay. It's cute. Wait. Oh, that's so cute. You've got a. You got a. Your toolbox has.
Oh yeah, is it?
Has your girl on it.
It's actually my watercolor set.
Your watercolor box, yeah.
There it is.
Cool. Yeah, that was a fine little figure. By the way, is she plastic or hard rubber? I obviously can't
She's
tell
plastic.
by looking at her.
She's plastic.
Cool. Yeah,
Basically, she was encased in soap for the bath bomb.
Yeah, that kind of merch, like, I love the look of.
Okay, I think this is dry now. I think this is Yuffie's theme, right? Right, guys? Check this one out. It's an older painting. It's a coin
Nice.
bank.
It's cute. Cute little home. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's actually a coin bank.
Red 13 is a human ninja girl? Is that what they think Fran looks like? I just want to make sure I
Yep.
understand.
I think that's
Wait,
what
what?
I think that's what Aris is saying. Here, take a good look, guys. It's much better
She
up
looks
close.
like She looks like Red 13? As a ninja?
Well, to be
I'm
fair, Jean is also a ninja, an assassin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I would not have thought Red 13.
Okay, that should be safe now. I just wanted to make sure it was dry, so that's why I was
Yes.
stalling.
Appreciate it. No, traditional art. Traditional art is scary in that if you're
Yep.
not,
Just checking. Yeah, if you're not careful, you could ruin it. And there's no going back from that.
um,
It looks good. Arigachuda york. Let's go to the next one. Not sure if I can finish all of these commissions today, but I will try. I don't want to rush it.
I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad you.
Yeah, I don't want to
that's
rush things. But now let's go
Oh, yeah,
to
I do
this
have
little
one.
boy here. Yeah.
I do have one request. When you do get to Aegon, is because I made that mistake, is make his backpack more visible. Like maybe have him at a slight angle, or maybe
Okay.
even having him sit next to it,
Okay.
just so that you know that he's got a generic. The generic.
So
big merchant.
it's a boy with a hat, right? With a blue hat.
Yeah, that's the boy with the antlers and.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's my.
Let me see. How do I want to do this? Now we got Red 13's theme, or at least the Cosmo Canyon theme, playing in the background. It's all your fault, Aris. You have a really nasty habit of wiping your hands through your maps that leave smudges you have to fix. Oh my. You should wear one of these gloves. I should wear one of my gloves, actually. Just to make sure. Right back. Gotta make sure, because I'm gonna start smudging stuff for the colored pencils.
Oh. Oh yeah, you were talking about blending. You're gonna show us blending.
I have returned. Got one of these. Size is small. I got small hands. But these hands are deadly. These hands create and destroy.
I would not be surprised. Just speaking of like skilled hands, kind of funny. When I was thrifting with my folks, and we came across a collection of typewriters, and Dad's told me this story a few times. Is in one of the, I don't know if it's in school or whatever. At one point in time, anyway, where they were taking typing class. No, I think it was part of it during his program or his early programming days. For some reason, like part of apparently, like, to get better at keyboards, they actually had them do typing exercises, like, on typewriters, you know? And apparently, there were these two women he knew in his class that apparently just because of the typewriters and with the speed and efficiency they could type, when those two women, like, would start typing, it sounded like an old war machine gun went off. And apparently it was insane. Like, I think, like, one of them was like a trained pianist, and she could do like, it was something insane, like 250 words in like under a minute, and the other
250 WPM. Wow.
No, and I think Dad said, at the time on his best day he could only do like 80 or something.
That's also fast. 80 is also pretty fast. So 250 is is like a world record level.
No, I remember, like, it was something insane. Like, I mean, it was like, when she goes at it, it was like, it sounded like a machine gun was going off. Like, I mean, she was just hit it with such speed and precision. But also knowing that it was two women he knew, Dragon Maid, Kobayashi, one of her special talents is she's able to, like, apparently she can, like, pump out code and, like, type super fast. So
oh, wait,
know if that was a...
Kobayashi from Dragon Maid thing. From the anime, okay.
Well, anime, manga, whichever.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the author of Dragon Maid.
I forgot I can never remember. Cool Senya or something like that. Like, I think his name roughly translates to follower or worshipper of Cool, or something like that. I think. But yeah, Dragon Maid. I have all the volumes up to the current one. And yeah, it's one of those things I think I probably will.
You're gonna finish it or drop it?
No, it's one of those things. Like, I'm sure, like, I'm gonna wait until another bulk of volumes come out, and then I'll definitely try to get them.
Ah, I see.
I don't know. It's just Dragon Maid. It's one of those things that I can't. Dragon Maid is such a confusing manga because. No, it's like it's so funny. It's like I don't know why it's so special. It just is.
Maybe you don't need a reason to like something, right? You just like it. It's like what Zidane says in FF9. I don't need a reason to help people.
Yeah. Because but like Senran Kagura, that's another one.
So this guy also has a tail?
Yeah, he's got like it's practically a line with a little tuft at the very end.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you want me to resend it just so you can on Discord so you can have reference?
I'm actually looking at it and I'm kind of confused as to what kind of tail that is. Okay, I got it now. It's kind of like Etna's tail.
Oh yeah, except it's a little tough and not the hard,
hard
shape.
Some would say it's a heart shape. Some would say it's actually a spear. I know this one. FF Tactics. So this guy is more chibi than the others. Alright, got it.
Yeah. Well, Molina and Aegon are supposed to be like small children, and then Fran and Shahid are supposed to be like more adult. But it's fine. Like in this piece, they can all be. They're all going to be probably just as chibi as they are in the main.
I'll try to stay true to your design.
And that's actually it's so crazy how much characters can change, like from either one artist or among many artists. Like Senran Kagura. Like seriously, depending on the skill of the artist, it is
right. Like
it is honestly amazing how much these girls can change.
Like how a skilled AI can turn Asuka into a lolly.
I know, I saw that. And
she looks better that way.
Why does she have to look so scared?
She knows what's about to happen.
Also, I love making fun of that one guy where you made the joke that you're gonna cut out the back half where the guy touching her, but it's even worse with the extreme look on her face because now we don't know if he's just groping her or is it full on.
His hands with ties.
No, I just thought it was just funny that in attempt. I think Sugar Punch said this once about censorship as well. In their desperate attempt to censor things, it actually looks more suggestive than if they just showed the real thing.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, like using rays of sunshine to obscure things, or one was like they quickly Photoshop a curtain to be just right over where the girl's butt's gonna be or something. Like, it's all done in a way that it somehow makes it even more extreme. It was funny.
You see where I'm going. So this is the items guy, right?
Yeah, Aegon, he's the
and
kid
he's
that
got some kind of hat which has blinders or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, he's got like.
Or is that his hair? Is that his hair at the side? That's his hair at the side, not part of the hat.
Yeah, he's got sideburns and a little bit of messy hair in the
front.
front.
Okay, got it.
And then yeah, he's got this little. Oh yeah, and it's
so
kind of
he's
hilarious.
a furry. He's a furry. Like.
Oh yeah, he's got fur, like proper fur, because. And his ears, it's kind of hilarious, like his ears and tail and everything.
Yeah.
It was like directly supposed to. When I saw concept art Sora and learned that he was going to be a lion child, I was like, I remember when I saw that I was like, why was this not made Sora? Why were we denied the lion child who fights with a chainsaw? Actually, no. I love it. It's not. It's called a chainsaw. It wasn't chainsaw, but if I read this right, it's called the zipper sword. And if you look carefully, it's the fly on a pair of pants. If you look carefully, it's literally a zipper blade.
I mean,
it's a giant zipper on a pair of pants.
I mean, there's tons of JRPGs wherein the staff of the female mage is like the T-square of. Architects and engineers is a T-square, basically. But they made it the staff.
Oh. No, actually, one thing I did not know is so common is the mage staff that's also a gun. Which,
oh yeah.
My God, what was it? Oh, no, darn it. Atelier, the current one. Darn it, I forgot what the name of the current one is. Ryza or something. The current one, like the main the really cute, dumpy, thick main heroine with the
Raceline.
Yeah, I love looking at her.
Stout.
No, it was one of those funny things. It was like, she's got a DLC outfit where puts her in a black and red Lolita, and I'm like, oh god, she looks even more like Ruby now. And then I learned that her staff is also a gun, and I'm like, oh, dang it. Stop making me want to love this character. Seriously, it's like, it's a thick Lolita with a weapon that's also a gun.
Yeah.
A gun.
Like, she still looks cute even though she's thick. She manages to pull off the cutesy look. Because of her face. She's got a cute face.
But yeah, I was Shartae from Rhapsody also has a staff that's a gun.
Also her sister Terra. Her sister Terra also has. Looks like her, but is black. Also has a gun staff.
Cool. Cecilia from Hexus Force. She's also got a staff that's a gun.
Oh, you played that Hexus Force. It's pretty good.
No, I watched a bit of it. My brother and I tried playing it, but we didn't get very far because, yeah.
He's a hidden gem.
It's one of those things I've heard people say it's amazing, and it's like I said I didn't give it a chance, like the right chance. I did. And although the weapons were fun, I liked what's his name, the blue guy that travels with Cecilia, voiced by, is it Johnny Young Bosch or is it
Yuri Lowenthal? I don't know.
Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal. That was it. It was Yuri Lowenthal. His weapon, I love that he carries around this big square brick sword that unfolds into a massive fan that can do the Tamari thing where he swings his giant fan and, massive earth-shattering winds come out. Love that. It's just, it's like I'm gonna swing this big brick around and it's gonna freaking create hurricanes. Which I actually noticed, between Musa, Motoko from Love Hina, and that guy, I did not realize that swords that can manipulate the wind is so popular over there in Japan. I don't know, is that based on, like, mythology or anything?
I have no idea.
And then, Musa, his Twister Blade. Which I appreciate that that's not just a gameplay thing. I appreciate that he kept using it in cutscene. And it was more or less just as powerful in cutscene as it was in gameplay.
He's more powerful than Mice throughout the entire game.
Oh! I never really played with him proper. I actually didn't know if he was actually...
Basically, he's slightly slower than Mice, but his attacks will always be more powerful.
Nice! That's actually good to know. But yeah, I like how he says it. I do like how he sounds in the dub. He says
Twister Blade!
Twister Blade! And the echo. I like the use of echo when they use their special attacks.
Yeah, even Mice does that. Ah!
Oh yeah, cool! Phenod! Which, I was gonna say, Phenod looks like Phenod looks like a duel monster. Like, the way she's drawn, she looks like a really old Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Like, I can totally imagine flipping her on the field and doing something. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The battle dialogue actually sounds okay.
So, what made you drop the game?
I'm hoping I'll get back into it if I can put down Senran Kagura, but...
It's more of a just turn your brain off kind of game, really.
Yeah. Which, yeah, same Senran Kagura, because I will watch the cutscenes at least once, but with Senran Kagura, I dropped Burst Renewal, and I moved on to Estival Versus just for the expanded roster. Just because I'm like, you know what, screw it. I want to see all these characters. I want to know what they're all like. And and I quickly learned they all do not play the same. Like, I quickly learned with when I had to play as Riona for 1 or 2 levels, I learned you've gotta be more careful with her. You've gotta like almost you gotta like almost shoot to a rhythm with her.
Almost looks like Twin Tails.
Oh hey, his ears are cute. I like him. I like what they're doing. And it's one of those things, I'm trying to remember why he has horns. I don't remember if it's because I think maybe it's because around the time I think I saw oh wait, no, so it was that long ago, wasn't it? I think it's because I saw Eco. I was like, oh hey, a boy with horns, that's so cool. But I think I changed it to antlers because of that. Oh hey, but let's make him a jackalope or something instead, even though he's not a rabbit. And hilarious enough, why his hat has a zipper is because I realized, like, it was so funny. I remembered it was something like I didn't want his hat falling off easily, his head. So it's like, oh hey, what if the hat had a special band, a little hole, or like basically the band actually has holes for his antlers, but and also because. And I think the only reason I did this because I saw Donald Duck have this, is Donald Duck had a zipper in his hat. And I'm like, oh hey, what if the hat, Aegon literally puts the hat on, like, the bottom half on first, and then he literally zips the top of the hat on, or something, so that way his cute little hat stays on and not...
Oh well, I drew the antlers outside of the hat this time.
Oh, it's
that's okay.
I mean, even then, I don't... That was just me trying to be goofy when I figured it out. It's fine. He's still hella cute. And even then, the zippers, that zipper pattern, you can easily recolor it to just be a woven pattern. He doesn't really need a zipper on his hat.
That's actually what I was thinking of when I drew it. I was thinking it was like a woven pattern. I didn't realize it was a zipper. I was thinking maybe I should redraw this into a zipper. And I was like,
oh, it's fine. Oh, he's so cute. No, and so these characters are good, dumb fun. But yeah, like I said, kit bash of what I thought looked cool as a kid. Because he is concept art Sora, a little bit of Eco. I think the reason, if I remember, he's got a chained collar was because of Fee and Klonoa. Yeah, and he's got the big honking backpack because I think I wanted him to be the. I wanted him to be the sidekick. I wanted him to be the. Oh yeah, I wanted him to be like. Yeah, because I remember that. I remember I wanted to give him the jumbo backpack to symbolize that he was the pack animal. He was kind of the underappreciated servant of the group. Also, and I wanted him to be a compliment to Melina.
Okay,
so that's why I gave him
servant. Huh? Well,
I think that's going to be Aegon's character arc, is he, realizes that he serves people because he wants to. I mean, yes, he is a follower at heart, but he needs to follow with, faith and actual grit. Like he can't just. I'm thinking like gameplay. Hopefully, I'll be able to convey that in text and gameplay. Is that Aegon gets braver? He gets more assertive. Like he helps people because that's his place. Oh, you're gonna make him look so. He's gonna look so cute and sad.
Yep.
That's another thing. I'm glad I have this piece to show you, but I did realize is that they are all neutral. And they're all just kind of looking off in their own direction. Because Aegon's looking directly at the screen with a little smile. Melina's looking off somewhere with a big smile. Shaw is side glancing you with a little smile. And then Fran's also looking off into space. I mainly just tried to squeeze them into one page. They don't belong. There's no chemistry. You don't know their dynamics at all.
Yep.
very lollyful. Aegon's a boy, so it's like he's not he'd be a Shota the other way,
He's
right?
Shotaful, man.
Shotaful. Yeah, I honestly have no idea what
Right-
animal he really
Right
is.
now, though, it does look like it's a girl with twin tails.
Huh.
Maybe that's
I don't
why.
know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe that could be like that's a. I mean, again, that's an old trope. I'm sure I was probably seen before, and for all I know, maybe thought of. You know, when trying to squeeze into him was, oh hey, he's the feminine, weak little one, and he looks up to Shahid because he doesn't look it because he's got toothpick legs and it looks like he's got toothpick legs and some kind of. Actually, that's Shahid's build. I have no idea. I think I remember looking at people like Pyros from Bot Hack, where like he had the exaggerated proportions. He had like the massive upper body and the tiny legs. I think there was also that. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea.
Color.
So I have absolutely no idea if he's got the superhero build or what, because he's also so overly dressed. Also, another funny thing I realized about his outfit. I love that his kimono or whatever that is. I love that he's got a ribbon. I love that he's got a ribbon that goes over the breastplate. The thing that's supposed to protect him. So it's like gotta love that he's got this ribbon over the breastplate. So it's like that ribbon, whatever it is, it's gonna get cut first. I actually can't remember why he's got. Well, I mean, I think I remembered. I always thought the yin yang idea looked cool, where it's like, oh yeah, one half of you is like big and armored, and the other half is soft for some reason. Because I think I remember Orin. Well, like Orin from Final Fantasy X, he did that thing where he had the samurai sleeve on one hand, but the big macho exposed arm on the other. Duo from Mega Man 8, he had this massive guts arm, but then he had a more normal arm on the other side. Dart from The Legend of Dragoon, he had a big, heavy arm and then a normal arm on the other side. And I remember I thought, oh hey, I like that extreme where it's like one half of him will be spiky and armored, and the other half will be a flowing kimono sleeve.
All right.
But I noticed he's got like so many ribbons on him because like he's got this. Well, I mean, like it's wrapped around his neck. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the kimono anymore, but like, it's like he's got this big ribbon that also looks like it not only wraps around under his arm, but also around his neck. But then also tied to a bit of the breastplate under that is hanging over the sash is a little ribbon, and then tied around the belt is another little ribbon.
Quality.
I don't know what all these ribbons mean. Looking back at it.
Check these out, guys. Now that's quality.
It's just funny. Oh,
Faber Castell. Polychromos. Look it up online. It's kind of expensive.
oh, does the ribbon prevent poison? I have no idea.
And this is Prismacolor.
Cool.
I'll be using a combination of both for this piece. Yep, when you commission LCX, you commission quality.
Yay!
Let me show you guys how you blend colored pencils. So you could use any number of techniques basically for colored pencils, doesn't matter. Whether you're going for cross-hatching or something else. I was telling Dakota this actually, that his actual work on this from, 13 years ago, actually just needed a little bit more blending. Because it already looked pretty good. I think you should get into drawing more. I know you draw as well, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I
think you should get into drawing. a lot more.
I was never consistent with it. Though every time I did draw something, people would say, "Oh, this is great. Why are you so insecure about drawing?" Like, but then, yeah, and then just,
Yeah, you've got drawing skill. You've got ability. Like
yeah.
I think you've got an innate ability for, aesthetics.
Okay. No, it's one of those things. I think, and I honestly, I think after this, after we get them more figured out, maybe, yeah, I think I might try that again. Definitely, I think I'll. I mean, obviously, it's one thing. There is drawing your own characters at first can be hard because you're building up the reference. It's like the Kaya, those Kaya sprites. I had reference, so it was a lot.
There's nothing wrong with using references.
Well, I know I've seen so many art channels that say collect your reference. And I mean, I recently bought I recently bought 2 art books yesterday. One was just a really solid anatomy perspective guide, like it was really good, and the other was just a collection, like a collection of artists in like a magazine or something. And
yeah, I mean, just looking at art and thinking about how you can improve your own already improves your art.
Yeah.
Antlers are a bit yellowish. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot. You did say you were going to actually sell this through your shop, right? Like,
yeah,
so that I could...
if you want, I can put it up there. I'll just give these to you, though. Like the fully scanned one, so that you can also get them printed out if you want. Like, locally.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you commissioned me. It's the least I can do.
And I was thinking, like, just so for reference, like, if you do, when you do sell the print on your shop, whatever, if it's possible to post a link to the original art so that people know.
Of course.
So people can see, like, where they started.
Of course.
Well, because I was sharing, I was sharing my character, I actually shared that with someone that, oh yeah, I had this party of 4 I did when I was a kid, and I commissioned someone to refine them, and this person was got excited, like, oh, really? Can I see them? And I'm like, sadly, I don't use X, so I don't, and obviously I don't want to invite you to Discord, without reason. So it's like, I was like, we'll have to eventually, hopefully I'll be able to share them. And I was, that might be a chance, share your shop when they're done, so that way they can see them.
Yeah. That's also good promotion for me, so I'm all for it.
Absolutely. I thought this. I mean, I even said I commissioned someone. I don't think I name dropped you yet, but I did say, oh yeah, yeah. It's like I'm trying
it's
to
alright.
ask someone for help too.
For anyone watching this who is curious, my commission prices start at $25. You can see them in the description. Thing with colored pencils is it's a lot more instinctive to use than watercolors. Like, you can just map out where you want to put the shadows in advance. Where is this music from? It sounds nice. Thing about these Prismacolor colored pencils, they're made of wax, so they break so easily. They will break.
Wax pencils?
Yeah. They break so easily.
I never would have thought of such a thing. A wax pencil.
Yeah. Prismacolors are considered some of the highest quality for artist grade
Are they?
pencils. Yep.
I just never would have thought to use wax to color something. That's all. Especially not as a pencil.
Usually the waxier the colored pencil, the better.
Hmm.
So he's kind of yellowish, huh? Is it intentional? His skin complexion is kind of yellowish. I guess it's a fur.
Yeah, his fur is yellowish. I just thought it would be more cheery, I guess. Also, I thought it would complement the blue and the brown, I think. That's another funny thing. The more I look at them, I'm like... The more I go back and look at these characters, like, they're colorful, and, like, it's... And actually, it's more balanced than I thought. Because I sometimes I look at them and I think, what the hell was I thinking with these colors? But I'm like, wait, no, it's like...
They look okay. I was saying they look like mana characters. They really do.
No, I'm like, looking at the palette now, it's like, I didn't use... Like... I'm looking at, like, Fran, for example, like, even the base one. You know, not even your refined one. It's like, you know, the green skirt, red and blue, like, you know, I mean, yes, that's a lot of color. But then I'm looking, like, she's holding her fan, and it's like, the fan has the same shade of brown, red, green that's close to it. Also the same pink as her hair. So it's like, it all comes... And then she's got had that little ankle bracelet that was like gold and green, which complements her fan and everything. So it's like, no, I think honestly, I think the one with the most just splash of color is Shahid, but I remembered at the time I loved it. I just thought like, oh, he's so colorful. He's got, you know, he's got like this tomato, oni red skin, green hair. You know, kind of a brownish yellow cloak and then blue armor.
I think I can get to the next girl. Yep, for sure. On this stream.
Yeah.
Although I may not get to the last guy. Well, I'll do it off stream if I don't get to finish him. Because my eyes are kind of getting tired. I haven't slept today. It's, you know, the car AC thing I was talking about. Was I talking about it? Yeah, I think I was talking about it on Discord.
Just a sec.
Colored pencils are kind of slower than watercolors, but they're worth it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Almost forgot the tail.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, getting to actually see you draw these characters live. This is great.
There we go. Now he's got a tail. Alrighty. Got sad little eyes.
Oh yeah, so he is so cute. He's just so poor me now. It's
And I use those blues like you did.
kind of really doesn't really not much to say. I'm just kind of just watching and
It's okay.
just kind of like silent admiration.
Okay, you were talking for quite a while.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I'm also trying to think of like, more I can add, beyond just repeating myself.
You can talk about other things you're interested in.
Oh.
Like, you recently got into Senran Kagura. Is it because you found a waifu?
Oh, it's one of those things, like... It's one of those things, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things... It looks like Senran Kagura was just... It did. It looked like it just kind of had covered all the basics. Like, it has, honestly, really cute / sexy graphics, fan service, waifus and all that. But, like, it's a basic, it's a basic repetitive button masher. It's like, it's one of those things like, I mean, on one hand, it's like Einhander is a great shooter, but it's like, and the robots and everything are cool, but at the same time, it's like, I think if I really had to choose between a kick-ass experimental jet or a sexy anime girl, I'm gonna pick the anime girl. and then when I learned about reflections, where it's like, I mean, yeah, you can, sure, you can sexually harass the girls in the dressing room.
Yes.
Apparently, I actually learned it was that's censored in the physical PS4 version. I thought that was interesting. Actually, it's kind of funny. Reflections didn't even get a PS4 release. It's only on Switch and Steam. And I was like, oh, I don't know my console politics. I did not know Senran Kagura is censored in the PS4 version. They actually remove intimacy mode. Which, I mean, for the most part, it's like, great, I can't grope the girls anymore, and that's about it. It's like, I mean, it's still a sexy button masher. The story is still there, I'm pretty sure. It's like, so. And like I said,
so
it's not.
They have more censorship than Nintendo.
Apparently, Nintendo apparently released Reflections on Switch.
I think they did. I've seen that in the eShop.
Yeah, and apparently the no, I remember the Reflections was actually an experimental title for the Switch because the way the Pro Control, the way the Joy-Cons and stuff work. If I remember correctly, there was the way if I remember correctly, like that was meant to be very experimental with the way you treat Asuka, the way you hold the controller, like the way the controller simulates weight and everything. Apparently, it was very sensory receptive in the
interesting
or something like that in the original Switch version. So I remember now. I was introduced to Senran Kagura through it was a guide. It was a Gaijin Goomba and Appa Bend is how I learned about this franchise. And then I watched a few episodes of the anime out of curiosity. And that was the one and only time this franchise ever got dubbed. It is so funny. Asuka has never been voiced in English again.
I didn't even know they had an English dub.
Yeah, and the anime got a dub. And it's surprisingly, like, it's one of those things, like, Senran Kagura, it is a comedy. Like, it's one of those, yes, it gets melodramatic at times, but Senran Kagura is very much a random lol, stupid anime. So the dub actually had fun with.
I guess the anime
it had this wisecracking narrator. The dialogue was decently acted.
And
Also
submarines.
Also, humorously enough, I forgot her name, but Katsuragi's English dub actress, the one time she got one, is humorously enough, Katsuragi, in early development was apparently inspired by Naruto. And humorously enough, the girl who played her also played Black Star, who was also a commentary on Naruto. So, I just find that hilarious.
Perhaps the
Katsuragi
casting
very
was
much has Naruto
intentional.
for genes.
Perhaps the casting was intentional then.
Well, I mean, and I don't know about the other girls. I don't know, like, if there's any other clever references in there or not. And I haven't seen much of her, but the girl who plays Katsuragi in the dub, Yeah, her actress has also played a Black Star from Soul Eater. I think she literally doesn't have a name. I think she's literally called Unused Character from the kind of the what was it? What's the best way to call it? It's basically like each episode is a collection of skits. They're not like full proper stories. It's a collection of short stories all bundled together. It's called a Kill Me Baby.
Like an
and she plays.
Oh, okay. Like for Coma.
She plays. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's called. It's a 4-panel. The manga is a 4-panel comic, and the anime is each episode is a collection animating those different skits. And anyway, she plays Unused Character. I think who else she's played. Sonya's actress from Kill Me Baby. Yeah, it's kind of. I did not know she had such a good vocal range.
Did you notice something about Sonya's appearance?
She looks like. I'm always keep forgetting everyone's. I keep forgetting who's the name of your waifu and who's someone else, because like Kurumi and Nobeta, that's a completely different anime. I know that meme. Yeah. Okay.
She has the same hair, the same hauge even.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually curious if you knew that anime just because looking at her, I'm like, oh hey, it's a little blonde lolly with skinny pigtails, you know.
Yep. Of course I know.
And it's so fun in both dubs. It's so funny in both dubs. Sonya has a very deep womanly voice. Because in the Japanese dub, it's clearly a woman just talking, and in the dub, it's also she's very womanly, like very deep voice. And I keep forgetting. The main girl, Yasunori, that's her name. Yasunori Oribe, voiced by Hilary Haig. Yeah, she's funny. I liked her. And, is it simply Yuri? I think, her name's Yuri, the purple-haired one that sounds high.
I don't know.
Well, actually, in the Japanese dub, Yuri's actress was actually busted for possession of, like, marijuana, and actually was, like, blacklisted or something like that. But in the dub, but actually it's kind of hilarious in the dub, it's her spacey high voice is an act. Because there are multiple moments where she'll drop the high voice and she'll have this more like unmanny, funny voice. It's so funny. Like again, that's kind of one of those weird things where it's like depending on if you watch the dub or the anime or the dub or the sub, you know, is there's some humor in there that's not in the dub or in the Japanese dub because in Japanese she never does that. She speaks just in a shrewd, in a sweet talking businessman tone. But in the dub, I mean, they have her straight up like drop the voice and have her just be like, "Hey, you want it or not?" you know, or something.
Got it.
It was a dumb fun anime. I was actually surprised how much I watched of it.
Oh yeah, those are always fun. You know, cute girls doing cute things.
Well, I was just surprised. Like, I just watched a lot of it because I was just like, it was. I liked their chibiness. I liked the way they were drawn. They had this really endearing chibi look. And the little dance in the ending credits. Well, actually, I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Is the opening is like incredibly misleading. Like the opening is like overly animated and really action packed, and then you watch the real anime and it's really limited budget, and they just sit around and talk for the most part.
Yep.
Like,
I think that's
I don't know if that's the
intentional.
joke.
I think
Well,
it's a
kind of like
joke.
Lucky Star has like this really fluid mocap animated opening, and then you get into the real show and it's like really stiff. Everyone's just sitting around talking, like, just funny.
Ah, that one I think
My
they just
favorite.
blew the budget on the opening.
Well, Senran Kagura. Actually, speaking of budget, I don't know if Senran Kagura is like a super small studio or not, because like I did not realize like every time a new asset is introduced to Senran Kagura, like chances are it's added to the library and it's gonna come back. And like I swear, like they try to save every asset, for future use. Because like like they'll do like an anime opening, they will find a way to repurpose that animation somehow. You know, no matter how jarring it may look. Like
Oops, the music
and the
is
audio
not.
and the audio clips as well, like the characters talking or whatever. That's another one, is either those Japanese people are amazing at imitating themselves, re-saying the lines or something. I'm pretty damn sure it's like they recycle like a ton of audio, and it's basically like I'm kind of wondering how
Hello,
little,
Josh and Tiago Krabi.
basically
Hello.
how little new content is actually made per game. And it's one of the things, like if a new Senran Kagura game comes out, that would be great. Like more girls, more, you know, and hope.
Oh boy, I pressed Photoshop by
Um,
mistake.
https://www.youtube.com/live_chat?1_v=9
what?
That's what happens when I open program by mistake.
Also, that's another funny thing, is her reaction. Your friend is like, I love the whole time of talking. I don't know why she has this look on her face that kind of says, "Are you ever gonna shut up?"
Oh,
I don't know. Every time I look over,
that's
every time I
intentional.
look over at her, she just looks pissed.
Yep, that's totally intentional. I did that on purpose.
Okay. You know what's funny? I'm only kind of now seeing his colors and proportions. I kind of now realize that Aegon's palette proportions, he's now starting to remind me of Banjo.
Ah, from
That's just
what's that? Banjo Kazooie?
Banjo's. I'm just looking at it now and I'm like, that's kind of funny. His palette proportion reminds me of Banjo. This just makes me laugh a little. Maybe make the green in some places more visible. Oh, hey, yeah, the triangular pattern. The triangular pattern on the hat. Maybe you can add a little green there as well.
Where on the hat? Okay.
Oh, sweet, Makanu's playing. I didn't catch it. It was cutting in and out. That's such a beautiful track. Yeah, the triangular pattern at his hat. Like, he could like be a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow.
Okay.
And his... Yeah. This is good. And maybe even the palm on his head. Maybe it can be like subtly green and maybe like a mix of green and yellow. If you do it, if you're careful.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you do it. Oh yeah, another thing with Senran Kagura I kind of love is that, I mean, yeah, like they're different moe stereotypes and all that, but is that the word moe? But like another thing is like, one important thing to take into account with all the girls is like each girl's got to be a new fighting style, because at the heart of it, since you can customize Senran Kagura however you, as much as for the most part, within the same degree, the one thing that must not be lost is their fighting style, and of course you can't mess with their build. It's kind of nice. It's like you can change their hair, you can change their clothes, but you cannot change their voice, their eyes, or their fighting style, obviously. And as a result, each girl's got to be unique. You know, like, got to get a unique fighting style. And
As for their body type, except for Mirai, they actually all have the same body type. They literally reuse the same model.
You know, like when the girls are all bunched together, they actually they do have different heights, different widths, different bust sizes. Like it's kind of, at first you think, oh, these girls all look the same, and then when they all stand together, I'm like, actually no, these girls really are diverse. Like the way they care, it's kind of funny. Even though they recycle animations, like the way the girls are made, to save on time and budget, the girls cycle through animations. Some girls are still able to maintain their personality, even if they're recycling animations. Like it's really impressive. But yeah, some of the fighting styles I've been getting to see, like they go for pure rule of fun. Like, I mean, yeah, we start off with the basics. Like, yeah, I mean, even with the standard girls, they're still like, you could say they're basic, but there's also still fun there. I mean, Asuka fights with 2 short swords. That's a really nice. Like 2 swords held backwards. That's a nice starter character. Like Asuka is just perfect vanilla. Then you got Katsuragi, who's got a pair of heavy boots with hidden features, which I gotta love that Mercury from Ruby is really just a dumbed down Katsuragi. Because like seriously, it's kind of funny. By Katsuragi, she's got freaking levitation, wind levitation. She's got flip out spurs. She's got guns hidden in her boots. It's like all these things that Mercury should have had. But no, Ruby's. I want to say Ruby did not go hard enough into Rule of Cool outside of Crescent Rose. Yeah, then Katsuragi, she's got her loaded boots. Yagyu, I think in some artwork, I think the umbrella has a sword in it, but I don't think I've seen her do it in any combos, so I can't remember. I'm just seeing things. I remember she's got an umbrella with hidden blades in the umbrella itself, and it's also a gun. And then Hibari. Hibari doesn't have a traditional weapon. She uses her companion. No, I forget. Yeah, her quote unquote weapon is her bunny friend Ninto, I think is his name. Like her spirit animal.
I'm not familiar enough with Senran Kagura.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't care about the story either. Like, I mean, when I do watch the cutscenes, I'm kind of like, all right, I don't know these characters, but I'll take your word for it. Actually, that was one thing I will say about Senran Kagura is I haven't laughed at a single joke as I've played in the game. I'm mainly just here for the TNA and button mashing. Because like Estival Versus, I don't know how serious this game will get, but like everyone is so like cartoonishly watered down from what I think they're supposed to be. Because like Katsuragi is like literally nothing but I love boobs. Yagyu is literally Hibari exists, I will worship her. Ikaruga is a stick in the mud. Asuka is like she's kind of this overly cautious, but like still, I'm the hero. I want to help everybody. Yeah.
Getting sleepy?
Oh yeah, and the huh?
I was asking, are you getting sleepy?
No, I just finally needed to yawn. And some of the other characters I was introduced to is Yona, the masochistic angel with the double pistols. So I love that. I love she's wielding two guns, but like they're double pistols. It's like it's a gun on top and a gun on the bottom, you know. And yeah, and she's like this ballerina angel, whatever. Like she's, and then yet her sister Ryubi. She's got this like I don't know. To me, I don't know if she's like Old West, like a more a proper lady from the West or something kind of look. But yeah, her weapon's kind of fun. It's just a stupidly long sniper rifle with a small hatchet in the stock for close range attacks. Like, also, I don't know her character, so I actually don't know if they explain this or not. Is why her Ryubi actually goes from flat to busty when she transforms. I actually forgot if they explained that or not. Easy in an easy spot. Like I'm sure in her debut game they probably say. Oh. And this game, well, I mean, like, I don't... Oh, sorry, it's in Shinobi Versus. I think all three of them are introduced in Shinobi Versus. Yeah, Ryubi fights with a sniper rifle with a hatchet in the stock. Ryona fights with a red and blue Ice Beam twin pistols. And then they have a sister, Ryuki, who in this game comes back as a ghost. Because the whole point of the game is they've been taken to a magical land where they gotta help the spirits of the dead relax and, like, move on or something. Anyways, and the big sister Ryuki is, her weapon is weird. She fires with a rifle in one hand and a big round shield in the other hand. And I'm just kind of like, that is a weird combo. Yeah, straight up hunting rifle in one hand and yeah, big shield in the other. Yeah, that was just a weird combo. And then there's Renki, I think it's how you say, yeah. There's Renki who fights with a drum kit. Well, I mean, like the sweet Japanese festival drumsticks or whatever. And then there's Hanabi, her sister, who uses some kind of bomb or something. I think she uses explosives. And I forgot the name of the third sister, but she fights with, like, water guns? She fights with, like, water pistols? It's so funny when the shinobi transform, and how colorful they get.
Watch me blend this.
This is so cool. And actually, Mirai. I don't know why I keep forgetting Mirai has this, but I love it so much. I love that Mirai has a gun hidden in her skirt that when she whips it out, it literally looks like a giant... She literally has a rail gun that works where it's placed and everything. It looks like a giant dick in the cartridges, or no, the drum. The gun's drums, they're placed in just right spots that look like balls. And I'm like, why? Why does the lolly have a weapon that literally is a giant gun dick?
Well, that looks like a crap. It's, I guess it's funny.
No, actually, there is this one line in Deep Crimson where apparently Mirai claims she gets mistaken for a boy. It's like, she's got stupidly long hair and she dresses all girly and she's got a girl voice and it's like, how does she get mistaken for a man? That's so weird. But yeah, Mirai, I don't know like much about her as a character, but like she was that definitely makes her stand out.
How do you like this blending?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I forgot to just try to list off as many weapons as I can think of. Yeah, Mirai is a compliment to Yagyu in that they both have umbrellas that are also guns, but then Mirai takes it a step up where she whips out various gadgets. Because I don't know if they kept this or if it's just a Deep Crimson thing. But in Deep Crimson, she had like 3 different weapons. She had her standard umbrella. I think she also had like a rocket launcher, and she had something else. The gun she hides in her dress is her finishing move, I think. And I think in the anime, she actually has a tiny jet she can fly around on, if I remember correctly. And one of the games, I think it might be Shinobi Versus, one of her special attacks, she straight up gets a tank.
Nice.
Hikage fights with a knife that, to match her snake theme, she's got like a fang-like knife that can stretch on a cable. Yomi is apparently a nod to Guts from Berserk, where she's got his arm cannon, his automatic crossbow, and her giant sword, which is just loaded with crap. Haruka has a little puppet that fights for her. The weapons get fun. I forgot her name, unfortunately. Is it Murakumo? Is it that one? The one with the Hanya. Oh, with the Hanya mask. I remember she's got another interesting weapon style. She fights with a spear and a giant hatchet or cleaver. That's interesting. Dang it, I forgot her name. The short one that has giant mechanized prosthetic gauntlets.
How long ago did you get into Senran Kagura?
Huh?
How long ago did you get into Senran Kagura?
Oh, not that long. I tried playing Burst, like maybe a year or even a couple of years ago now. But that was about it. And then I finally started playing these games like very recently. And yeah, it's one of those things, like, yes, Asuka will always be my easy vanilla, but I think why I wanted to get this game is I wanted to see the roster. I wanted to see what all these girls have to offer. And then there's Homura, Asuka's... here's the thing. Asuka is basic vanilla, yes. Homura is just the good, dumb, fun, easy rule of cool, edgy rivalry color. Because I love that she really is like the she is the paint by numbers. Oh, nice. Edgy rival to Asuka, where it's like, she's Asuka times 10 and evil. Like, it's so funny. Like, when you look at their fighting styles, where it's like, everything about her is like this perfect compliment to Asuka. I love it. And some other girls I recently seen. Oh yeah, because there's Yumi and there's Yomi. Yumi is the ice girl. That's all about justice and stuff. And she's got a fan and ice powers. Like, okay, that's fine. And what's her name? Wait, is that... No, is more... No, Kurosaki... I think Kurosaki is the, Kurosaki is the shut-in who plays video games all day, and she's got, Bebe Bai? Or however you pronounce it? Her sentient puppet. Well, it's kind of weird. They keep saying he's it's ventriloquism, where she uses him to vent her real feelings, and they say he's just a lifeless puppet. Then there's other scenes where he is clearly up and walking around by himself. So I don't know if that's rule of funny or not. Yeah, I think that's her name. Murasaki. Wait a sec. I can quickly look up. Yeah, Murasaki. Yeah, Murasaki is the sad one. Yeah, she has a unique weapon in that she's got prehensile hair, and she's got like these serrated shuriken blades carefully woven in with them. Okay, so yeah, that's another weirdo weapon. There's Emu, which I don't know if they're real sisters or if they just say that as a form of endearment. Is Emu. Yeah, she's apparently fights with a Sun Wukong staff. Like, it's a staff that can magically fluctuate in size, and she even actually does a Sun Wukong like move where the staff turns into a small drum and she opens it up and literally tiny hers come out and fight. So it's like, okay, yeah, she's just the token Sun Wukong. Okay, that's interesting. And then there's Miyabi, Shadowcat. Shadowcat loves her. There's Miyabi. Yeah, she fights with a long black katana, which then can transform into the 7-pronged sword from Japanese mythology. And she's got like this angel demon motif. Like she is such fun, edgy rule of cool. Like she is easy to like. Yes, it's kind of weird. If it weren't for it's kind of funny. She's clearly a woman. Like I mean, she's got the big tits and everything, but she's almost for some reason reminds me of Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Like she's got like this masculine energy to her. Even the voice too. It's like it's so weird. Like Miyabi almost feels like a man that's been turned into a woman.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Oh yeah, and then Shiki? No. Yeah, because Renki's the one that fights with a drum kit. Shiki is she's the Valley Girl. She's the Valley Girl that's got like a she's got like a Reaper witch aesthetic. Like she fights with a conjoined double curved scythe. And I'm like, okay, that's colorful. and then there's the baby of that group. And I don't remember what she fights with. I remember she's got a big backpack. And I can't remember if that's her weapon is the backpack and she pulls out random surprises, or if she does have a specific weapon or not. Then there's Daidoji, which honestly, I don't actually mind to double check if she's got a unique model or not, or if it's just good texturing. Because if Daidoji's muscles are just spray-on texture and not really properly sculpted into the model, much like Homura's tan, that needs to be something you can use in customization. Because of that one scene in the Reflections where she played Warrior Asuka, when she makes the comment, which again I don't know if that should be a potential commission or not, where she's like, I don't know, I think I put on too much muscle, I can't fit into my clothes as much, you know, can you give me a massage to help slim me down or whatever? And I'm like, why, like, if you're gonna do a joke like that, why don't you give us the option to make her look like Daidoji? Why do you not make her look buff for that skin? That would be funny. And then there's Rin. I think Rin, Kiria's lover, ex-student. Well, how big is their age gap? Because he was her instructor, implying he was an adult and she was a child. But apparently they are very much in love. Like, apparently there's this running joke is that they don't, both of them are too afraid to confess their love. Which, by the way, Kiria-sensei apparently goes insane in the water gun game, where he becomes Mr. K. And, like, yeah, he's wearing, like, a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses and roller skates, and he's just doing JoJo poses with every word, and also, holy crap, his suit... I don't know if his suit is magical, or if it's the Superman thing, and it's all about his body language, but it's kind of hilarious that when he takes off his suit and becomes Mr. K, he is just this...
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. He's just, like, super muscly.
Hello, Shadowcat.
If you're getting tired, would you actually like to split the stream in half? Where
yeah, I guess I could do that. I am tired today because
and so tomorrow. So like yeah. So do you want to do Melina and Shahid tomorrow?
Let me check my schedule. What I have planned in my room. Let's see. Demon Souls tomorrow. Yeah, I can do that. It's not an important stream. So yep.
Excellent. So yeah, you can. Yes, please make sure you sleep. You're a hard worker.
Ah, thank you.
Yes. This is a wonderful.
There you go, and I guess I could refine it a little bit more off stream.
Only if you want to.
Here's this one. I'll give you the pics for this, of course, which are already processed to make the colors stand out more. Hello, Wolfmania.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these are great, and hopefully with this commission from you, it'll hopefully inspire me to try redrawing them again myself, and then hopefully. But here's the thing: but implementing what I've learned from you, because that's the thing. Actually, this is something I love that also drives me crazy is seeing characters change over time. And one thing I love hate doing is trying to figure out how can I take a little of each different design iteration and bring it all together to create something like colorful and different.
Just go for it. I mean, it's
no. I'm just saying, like,
really something you learned, like from somebody else telling you. You just go for it.
So yeah, I think that'll definitely be. I mean, obviously no promised dates, but I will definitely thanks to your streamlined version, I can then try drawing them again and see what I can learn from it. Because you are adding, I have brought something new to them that I can definitely need to take into consideration.
Well, yep, you did give me creative freedom to do so.
No, and I appreciate it.
Here we go. So yeah, I guess I will get some sleep. My eyes are closing.
No, thank you so much for even doing this.
We were out all day today, getting the car AC repaired. So
yes,
it was a long day. With that said, thank you for the commission, Dakota. We will finish this for sure. For sure, tomorrow.
Oh yes. I am definitely looking forward to seeing more tomorrow. Yes, you sleep and you take care.
Alright, so with that said, thank you very much everyone as well for watching. This has been Elle-C together with Dakota Miller, and we are out of here. You got any final words for chat?
Sadly, not really. I'm just. It's not like we can. It's not like we can like raid out and do something.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so thank you for today.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have Lexus chime in.
I do. I love her face. I do love just when you look at her, she's just kind of like, "Are you done? Are you gonna shut up?" Seriously, like I almost actually no, sorry, even better. Just have occasionally float over her head, IDGAF.
Yeah, I can do that.
Just like, sorry, am I saying the initials right? IDGA. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. When I heard that for the first time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, that cracked me up. Where like I think Joey. It's during Waking the Dragons where Joey gets his Dragon Ermos, and there's this blinding light, and the Pharaoh's just perfectly stoic the whole time. And in the abridged show, the Pharaoh's just like, IDGAF. And then something happens.
Oh,
I continue to
One of my favorite abridged series is Zero no Tsukaima. Because when Lewis, Lewis starts trying, the familiar of Zero. When Lewis, pink-haired girl. And kind of lolly, not really lolly.
That's the isekai where the loser gets pulled into a magical school and he's the familiar of a girl and like he's treated like a dog.
Yep, exactly. So when Lewis starts summoning him, summoning her familiar.
Because she wanted a mighty creature, but instead she got some boy.
Yeah. So when she starts summoning him in the abridged version, she goes instead of using the spell, they dubbed it as Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh no!
She's drawing an arc with her wand, so it kind of fits.
Watch this.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Hey, I'm gonna have to watch this then, like before the next stream, so I maybe hopefully talk about it.
All right.
That's wonderful.
Sounds like a
Okay,
good
so
idea.
I'm holding you. You got it. I'm holding you back. You got it.
Yep, I'm just
We can talk
waiting
more
for Bestie to.
Oh, that's right. Sorry,
You
she's
earned
thinking,
that
isn't she?
rest, bestie. Yellow Heart, a chill watercolor stream sounds like the perfect way to wind down after a hot, exhausting day wrangling with car stuff. AC repair is no joke, especially in this heat. Hope it's blowing nice and cold now? Go hydrate, stretch out somewhere cozy, and just let yourself be for a bit.
Ah,
You did good today. Proud of
thank
you.
you. Thank you, Bestie.
Oh wait, there are multiple abridged shows. By the looks of it, which one's the real one?
I have no idea. Just
Shoot.
I know the one I saw was older, so I'll go for the
Oh,
older
okay.
one, I guess. Okay, with that said, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Dakota Miller, for the commission and for keeping me company today. You are a great
Yeah.
host, so thank you. Well, I gotta go. Bye bye.
Okay. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching as well. So, bye bye. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Click like and subscribe and click